Joe's.
Oh yeah.
This meeting is being recorded.
We're gonna go up there and
Yeah.
acknowledge
All
that.
right.
Mama will do it. She walks back.
I can just drop that down to.
I'm just gonna walk, like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a.
I was not ready for the road. Was so discontent to wear that heavy load. I think we had our last band practice today. Uh-oh. I don't think my computer's plugged in. Even though I thought I plugged in, I think it's not working. I wanted the dog stuff plugged in.
What do you mean last? Oh, you're not gonna keep up with the band?
Well, we might try to start meeting like twice a month or something like someone's house or something like that.
Say, like,
Gotta get the band back together.
gotta get it. Like, I was your first groupie.
I
Not
know,
that I adhere to any kind of groupie language, but I was your first
It was
groupie.
awesome.
Is Jim still playing the play, or is he?
He says if we invite him, I thought he was being invited. Oh, yeah, I walked all the way over to plug in and hit the got it thing. You do not. Laura's walking back.
Jim, and what about the guy who plays Manslin? Didn't he leave when, what just got ripped?
He's not completely gone. But he works from home like most of the time, so he rarely would come in.
Because I gotta say, the addition to Manslin really,
Yeah, he's really, really good. He's a like a real musician.
he's very quite good.
Yeah.
Very quite good.
I see Joe.
Alrighty, let's begin, shall we?
All right.
As we left off last episode, the Lamplighters had gone out into the woods near Lonelywood. In fact, near the ruins of the Elven Tomb, which they curiously did not investigate. And there they, it's hard to say fought. It's not really combat unless both sides fight. But they slaughtered some sentient talking moose,
Yep.
like some sort of savages.
Yep.
And so savage that Baruch is now literally wearing his head on a hat.
To be fair, we also interviewed it about his death experience.
Yeah. Is one of you going to wear its ass as a hat? That'd be awesome. No?
Head ass.
I think the wolves took care of that. So, anyways, you made it back. You acquired your title and ownership to the Ramshackle Inn in Lonelywood. And as the driving snow and heavy winds of the blizzard sat in, the blizzard which you know thanks to the weather weasel.
Thanks, Rod.
Right? Thanks to Rod's weather weasel, you know that this blizzard will be lasting on into the night, and will in fact turn into a whiteout, and it will not be fit for man or beast outside until sometime in the morning of Flame Roller 50.
All right.
So you have settled into your new accommodations, kind of exploring, spend some time doing that. Keenly aware that you all have a date with destiny at moonrise, Flame Rule the 17th, at Kelvin's camp. Otherwise, young Finra will be exterminated unless Sandalphon is brought and traded for her life. As it sets into the early evening, 4 p.m., blizzard howling, Lamplighters, the evening is yours.
Tax is gonna just run around like mending most of this place. Just mend.
Need to find a place to hang my rack.
Do you have a headache or anything? That seems.
No, I can't sleep.
It's fair.
Very fair.
Right.
You know, it would look very good when you were here if we had a place that all nerds put it. And we put it over there and then it would be kind of like Brooks in the house.
Yeah.
And then it would be very, I think, ceremonial, beautiful.
Reminding people not to start shit while you're here.
Right. I'm gonna wear it well.
It looks lovely there.
Beautiful.
So, 2 days before we have to be on the can. Brajaga, how long do you think it will take us to get there? We want to have some fat in case we run into any kind of difficulty.
How long do I think it will take us, Joe?
On foot, it will take approximately 20 hours to trek from Lonelywood overland
There's all the spells now.
to Kelvin's Cave.
So you get the Newman's 25.
We should
You
leave now
could
then.
overland in snowshoes, you make about a half mile per hour, and you are about 10 miles from Kelvin's Cave.
Okay, I could have sworn last week you said it was like a few hours travel.
I mean, 20's a few.
I mean,
That
20
was-
is, that's 2 days at least of
Yes,
travel.
that is 2 days. So we should definitely leave now.
I was
No.
definitely given the impression that it was a 1-day trip. That's
Well,
why we went and killed the moose instead of leaving today.
Well,
considering it's a blizzard right now,
it's a blizzard and then there's a
Well, I
lake.
understand that there's a blizzard. I'm just saying the decision not to leave immediately was made because we were told it was going to be a few hours.
well, I'm looking at distances. Perhaps I was incorrect when I gave you that number,
2 seconds, straight go.
but we can revise that such that you can make the trip in 1 day.
Okay. Then that's what I tell Dalen. It'll be a day, assuming
Actually,
good travel conditions.
So
Map up there.
if we just spitballing. If we leave at 8 a.m. tomorrow, which is about the time that the bullshit stops, and we travel until 8 p.m., that's 12 hours. So that is approximately 6 miles.
Attempting to travel more than 8 hours in a day, especially in Icewind Dale, is going to invite Constitution saving throws.
Yes, I strongly suggest we take our 1-day travel and travel it over 2 days.
yeah.
So that way, when the inevitable encounter
I have
happens,
dozen that's from Lonelywood to Caraconic, and that's 12 miles.
Uh,
Yet Kelvin's Cairn is significantly, probably about 75% of that. So, we'll say 8 hours.
do you just want me to do 12 times 0.75?
No.
Okay. Because if you want to math this, you know me.
No,
and
I
Sam.
do not. I have had enough of that. That's why we have an alley. I don't have to do math anymore. I'm old. There's an alley present. Okay,
I'm
so
one of the kind of master of figuring stuff out. I
what
don't
would you
have
like
to
to
do
do?
it. Daisy can calculate.
Long rest and
Dave.
essentially right after all of the bullshit ends, somewhere around 8 a.m. head out is what Tax would take out her book, point to all of the charts and maps, and her timetable and point that out.
Yes, I definitely think that leaving first thing in the morning, provided favorable weather, is preferred.
And we determined that the Duergar place was kind of at the base of the cairn, so we could be heading there first to maybe set up a local base of operations.
The Duergar outpost is to the northwest of Kelvin's Cairn.
So we would be kind of.
You know, if only we had a map.
I know. You have to get. I can go look at it.
Also, we could bring it up in the thing.
Yeah, let me bring it up in the thing.
So just so that we're
Throwing that
clear,
out there. We have.
and if I've said something different beforehand, then I'm revising it.
That's fine.
So we have Terraconic right here. We have the looming presence of Kelvin's Cairn right there. This is Lonelywood, Tourmaline.
Oh. So is the Duergar thing in the Dwarven Valley?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
on the other side because we got there from Terraconic and now we're coming from Lonely.
Got it.
However,
Yeah, you went. It's.
I think it's towards this thing over here.
Yeah,
Like
it's,
over
yeah,
there.
you're right. It's,
So it's northeast.
it's in the foothills.
Yeah.
Surrounding Kelvin's Cairn,
But on the other side.
but on the north.
However, we did try to unionize goblins in the Dwarven Valley the last time we were here.
You've never been to the Dwarven Valley.
We absolutely did. We left from Bryn Shand. Oh, we hadn't been that far up. We were
Mhm.
between Bryn Shander and Tourmaline, but below the Dwarven Valley.
So even if it's a little bit out of our way, would it be good to have a firm base of operations there locally and a place to potentially retreat to not have to spend another day or so of travel out in the wilderness with who knows who in what condition?
It would be nice to verify that it was empty. It may
Yes,
may not be empty anymore.
I agree. I do think it would be a good idea to check.
So, according to the Terraconic manual, shall we say, the Duergar outpost is in the foothills north of Kelvin's Cairn, which can be, northeast, northwest. I remember you going around the southern part of Kelvin's Cairn to get to it, so it's on the northwest side. I could be wrong.
I mean, I like it on the northwest side. That works better for us.
Northwest side. Don't gang signs.
Okay.
Uh,
So you,
if you, the DM, now dub it on the northwest side,
it's on the northwest side. That's where it is. That's where it shall be. So let it be written.
So let it be done.
Let it
writing
be
it
done.
as of right now.
Right. Somebody take a note. So that actually will make it better. That means that you have an 8-hour on snowshoe trek to the Duergar outpost. From the Duergar outpost, it will be 1 to 2 hours to get to Kelvin's Cairn.
And then how long does it take to get to the top? Or we meet them at the
how
top
long did it take
or?
you last time?
It took us a while, but we did have an avalanche. So I think total it
Took a
took us
while.
3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 hours to get to the pump. But I mean, you also fought frag cast. You
Yeah.
found your survivor.
I really do think
You weren't making a straight trip up.
I worry that we will be in a battle and need to retreat and have nowhere safe to retreat to, and somewhere within that path of the cairn. But really, if we can secure the Duergar fort, which we've talked about doing in the past, that would be an excellent defensible stronghold. I think we should head that way as soon as we can.
So Tax listens,
Yeah.
rapt attention, goes to her notebook and starts taking out protractors and
Contractors.
yeah,
There's a compass,
yeah.
arcs, maybe a Pythagorean theorem.
And then she looks at Brad Yaga and she goes, Brad, am I right to say, if we leave here at 8 a.m., which is precisely when your lovely weather weasel said that the lightning storm should end, in approximately 8 hours, we should be able to be at our hole. Thus, we can secure it overnight. We may not get a lot of sleep, but we should be able to get enough sleep. And then, the next day, go up the cairn, get your sister, slaughter things, because we're not giving them Sandalphon.
Nope.
And then come back for a lovely sleep.
And then like she'll show you the timetable, really, really proud of herself right now.
Yes, that would work.
Okay.
I have a judgment question for some DMs.
Oh boy. Okay.
No, this should be a pretty easy one. Minor illusion can create an image of an object. A person would not be an object, correct?
Correct.
Way too much detail. What about like a sack of a person, like you had like a big burlap sack with a person in it? Is that enough? Is that enough? 5 by 5 by 5?
Not a big person.
No. Okay.
Sandalphon person?
I'll call it Sandalphon.
Well, I don't want him standing up. I want him hogtied.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
guys, this is a very rude question, but it needs to be asked. How much does the party weigh?
Excuse me?
With or without the helmet.
I know.
You'll
we've
have
not
to
been
specify.
active recently, but
You may have to specify the unit of measurement for our burly friend over here. He may not be used to measuring in civilized measurements.
2.5 hours.
I think you tune down. You're
Don't be so harsh on yourself. You are no more than 3.5 cows.
I weigh 42 pounds without my gear, and then with my backpack, I weigh 52 pounds.
So here's the deal. There's 6 of y'all, right? I'm not counting myself because I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh because I don't have to. So
Wow.
there's 6 of y'all. If each one of you on average with your equipment weighs less than 450 pounds,
I think that's probably safe.
then we can hitch a sled up to a draft horse and we should be able to get there with no problem because a draft horse can definitely take the snow.
Where are you going to
Do
find
we have a draft horse?
We can have one anytime we want for 2 hours.
Are you a draft horse?
What do we do with the sled when you're not a draft horse? I'm sorry, what do we do with the sledge when you're not a draft horse?
What is the average land speed of a laden draft horse?
I read 2017 with my gear.
Good Lord.
They're considering it's probably not going to be anywhere near
What time
heavily laded.
And I had been to trade with chickens. I weighed
Because I
60.
doubt we're anywhere near 450 pounds each average.
I think you'd sink if you went into water.
Well,
So I don't
Sandalphon
have-
is half of that.
I don't have the statistics for a dog sled
I mean,
right in front of me.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be a dog sled, but
It's 6 humanoids on a single dog sled.
6'1" muscular person.
I mean, surely we can whip up a sled somewhere that 6 people can ride on. I mean, this is a land of winter. Someone's got a sled for sale.
I mean, if you had, like an engineer maybe.
Why do I need an engineer to buy a sled?
You're looking for like the Lincoln Navigator of sleds, right? You're like, I need a Yukon.
No, just a lorry.
Yes.
And I mean, technically, the way Baruch runs his shield, I bet he could just sit on his shield and like be dragged.
Oh, I did that one time down the mountain. That's fun.
But did the mountain punch
I
back?
heard people once settled their swords. I heard a story about like this blue person who like took his sword and used it as a snowboard as they went down the mountain.
Okay, an empty sled costs 20 gold pieces, weighs 300 pounds, and has room at the back for one driver. A sled dog costs 50 gold pieces and can pull 360 pounds. Sled dogs must take a short rest after pulling a sled for 1 hour, otherwise they gain a level of exhaustion.
What about a pack of wolves?
Well, now, I don't know about, you're gonna have to talk to Rajaga about convincing the pack of wolves.
Bradyaga just gave his opinion.
Like,
Now, if you're not looking for a dog sled, but you're looking for something like, say, a sleigh,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, sleigh is what
Like a
we're
dog
looking for.
You're looking for a sleigh, a one that can hold what?
Winter
1,
carriage.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
don't count Tax. Tax could literally be a hat on someone. His hat weighs more than Tax.
It's true. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 plus 1 draft horse.
Lisa,
In a sleigh.
have you seen the memes?
In a sleigh.
Thing in gnome casting reduce
If
on
I
yourself.
recall
and using
correctly,
rage to
there
just
was
carry yourself.
some sort of wagon outside the ramshackle,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm just.
Oh, there's ruins. I'm sure if you give Tax, I don't know, a couple hours, she can make it into something. There's 100% ruined sled outside or wagon. So if you look at the front door, go 2 windows over.
Yeah. To the right.
Yup.
So that wagon would be acceptable.
So,
You would need to do some sort of engineering.
Bradyaga, even if this were to work,
Artificier
if we did get a sled that would work that you could pull, after 2 hours, what do we do with it?
Abandon it, and we're most of the way there. So
And then pick it up on the way back.
If
Okay.
it's still there.
Okay, if that is the plan, I'm perfectly happy to help with this plan. But I will need rest before tomorrow because I will need to switch out some spells if we are traveling.
Oh yeah, like we have to stay here tonight. There's no getting
Yeah.
around that.
it also means I will be useless in a fight.
I mean, not super useless. You still have a bow and arrow.
No, he'll be a horse.
Oh,
Pay attention.
No, I think that is legit. That is in character.
sorry.
That's what you get for missing staff meetings, Doctor.
Sorry. My sister can summon like a big horse. Bay horse. I think it's for more than an hour, but that's what I thought was happening.
I can make it so you are not completely useless in a fight.
I can still boss food around. So
I mean, how would you like to be a horse that breathes fire?
Yes, please.
That's a nightmare.
that
far.
would be interesting, Croesus. However, you're gonna have to bring the enemies into my range because I'm going to be hooked up to the sleigh.
I mean, that should be fine. I think
We're starting this
I think
conversation.
getting fire makes everything interesting.
You know,
Or
I'm
should-
beginning to think that this is way more trouble than it's worth, and we should just fucking walk.
Okay. You're okay with the level of exhaustion.
Oh yeah. Like also if Sandalphon and Baruch, if those two can bring the wagon in, because
We won't be able to get the wagon out.
sure we will.
How?
It's a double door.
Okay.
So
She
an
seems to
average
know
horse-
quite a bit about them.
An average horse can walk 4 miles per hour.
Yep.
according to the internet.
That is
That's
according to
not
the internet.
That's not overland in the snow. I'll give you 2 miles an hour as a draft horse.
Well, we're only 11 miles away, so.
No, you're about
8. If we're getting there in 8 hours.
ish.
Yeah.
If we could go
technically-
if we could go 2 miles an hour and we're 8 miles away, then we only need 4 hours, which is 2 hours, which is 2 uses of wild shape, short rest, 2 more hours, we're there.
Assuming you have a sled.
Like I said,
A sleigh.
Assuming we can find a conveyance.
Well, you do have the broken wagon.
we do have the broken wagon, and we got me, which got mending for
Mhm.
days, tons of skills, and you know my backpack's got tons of shit in it.
I know you have a lot of tools. I know you have a lot of stuff.
You tell me what
Now
skills
remember,
roll.
mending fixes things, it doesn't create new things.
I know.
And it's okay, and it's a minute per fix.
So
Okay.
to Tell me.
Fix it up, let's say
Mhm.
there's 60 things to mend on this wagon that exists.
Yep.
So that's an hour to get it to its original form. How long would you say with my skills, and what would you want me to roll?
I don't know. What are your skills?
All of them? Like, this is what I do. So, but it's not like there's a crafting skill.
Right. No, but
I can roll intelligent, like just straight up intelligence. I can roll dexterity.
It would. My guess would be an intelligence check with prof bonus if she's using any kind of crafting tool, which I
Yeah.
imagine she is.
Well, it's either intelligence. What is what do Lisa? If you Tax, if you look at your character,
I'm looking at her.
okay, and you should have tool proficiencies. Do you have tool proficiencies?
Oh, yes, I do.
At the wazoo.
What kind of tool proficiencies do you have?
Smith, thieves, tinkerers, wood carvers, and I also have
So,
the right tool for the job.
you can make tools, correct?
Yup.
Okay. So you're going to need to perform some woodworking,
Mhm.
and you're going to need to perform some tinkering.
Done.
Woodworking is to shape the skis. Tinkering is putting the wood together and then attaching it to the body of the wagon. So give me what are those tools? They work off your proficiency bonus, right? Is that right?
Yes. Hold on 1 second.
If only.
Behold, I have an entire note that has all of the tool things.
And I can help for 10 minutes.
Sweet.
On anything you need.
can get
Tinker's
for-
tools.
Bonuses on rolls, right?
You can restore 10 hum points to damage objects. I can
For
simply
10
repair any item half the
For lack
time.
of guidance.
Improvise temporary using scraps.
I think I have resistance.
Enable you to repair many mundane objects so you can't manufacture much. You can mend torn clothes, sharpen worn sword, and pattern. So it doesn't, I don't think I have to roll with
Vision,
it.
more like they're just constantly praying.
Okay, if you already have proficiency, you gain proficiency with one other type of artisans. Oh, okay, so that's in Tasha's cauldron of everything. Page 19.
And then there was another one that I found that was online, and it gave you like all the rules for special things, and I think the only one I didn't do, it's like Xanthars or something. Is there one called Xanthars? Yeah.
Yeah, I can do guidance. I have guidance on this character. It was resistance.
Just off the back of your head, I'm gonna walk to our friend who sold us the end and ask her if there's anybody who would sell us the yoke part to hook over this draft horse's head so we'd be able to
We
pull.
should go talk to Speaker Huddle.
Yeah,
and just see if there's someone that might be able to sell us a rig.
I mean, sure.
Okay. You can. I mean, you can just let me know if I was successful in that or not.
So it won't be free, but this is a logging community,
Mm-hmm.
and they use horses to
That's what I thought.
pull, logs back from the forest. So yes, you can find one. It is a lot of leather working involved, so it's 5 gold.
Okay.
Did I do something smart like bookmark this? No, I wouldn't because I'd be on my work computer, and that would be bad.
Are you logged in this Chrome where your bookmarks travel with you?
Yeah.
Then you would have. Then you could. I don't know what accent I was just speaking then.
You can, like kids in the hall.
Yeah.
But he sure smokes.
So I'm able to find. I can't. What is the term? It's not a yoke.
I think it's the yoke
Yeah,
from my
it's a yoke.
shoulders. I think it's yoke, yeah.
Yeah.
Does a draft horse go faster than an ox?
Probably.
About the same. We're not talking about running speed.
Okay.
It's the yoke from my shoulders.
Oh, found it. It's on Anyflip. Give me 1 second. I'll get this wood carver shit down.
I'm looking at the.
From my shoulders.
And I think I need to add another tool set. And I keep on going back, but I think the next one I'm going to do is cartography. So if I do cartography, I can make inks, which is going to help out.
I love it because she does that in her game. But have you found actual official rules for that? Because we had to make some up.
I haven't found the official tool,
Okay.
but the cartography tool says you can
Okay.
manufacture it.
Just double checking. Proficiency bonus to any ability check you make using that tool. Tool use is not tied to a single ability.
No, yeah, you can
Since
choose.
proficiency for the tool represents broader knowledge of its use. For example, the DM might ask you to make a dexterity check to carve a fine detail from your woodcarver's tools, or a strength check to make something out of particularly hard wood.
This is a hard
In
one.
this case, the woodworking will be dexterity, and the tinkering will be intelligence.
Done.
So give me rolls for each one. But here's the thing, Tax. This is not like the Manhattan Project. It's not that you won't be able to do this. You absolutely will.
It's time.
It's how long it will take and how sturdy it is.
So, do you agree that with all my mending and all my knowledge, that an hour to get the wagon from junk to what it originally was, an hour would be sufficient?
Yes, that should be fine. It's not a rotted piece of crap. It's it's just a wagon that happens to have a wheel broken, kind of dilapidated because it's been abandoned.
Yeah.
Which is weird because with the scarcity of no longer has a lot of wood. So yeah, it's not a bad way. It's not an hour of mending is reasonable to get it restored as a functional wagon with wheels. Make an intelligence check.
Okay, guidance. What does guidance do?
That's a D4 to your intelligence check. Just general intelligence.
All right.
No intelligence plus the Tinker Tool's proficiency, or no?
No, this is not a temporary tool. This is an intelligence check.
Good.
Oh my God, Rose, real time.
Plus me. Well, I rolled a 1. Plus 4. Plus 3 on the D4. Plus 7 is my modifier. So that gets me. It
11.
takes me a while for my first one.
No, this is not about building a thing.
Yeah.
You're looking at the wheels on the wagon, and you're thinking back to when you first met this group of people who have become your companions. And one of the things that you did very soon after meeting them originally was tracking down a wagon in the middle of a field. You're pretty confident that the wheels that you have made on this wagon and mending it back up, as long as you don't go over rough, rocky territory or you don't get buried in the snow, you should be able to use it as is if you have a strong enough force point.
Oh, nice.
All right. So that was my intelligence. What's my dexterity?
Well,
So this,
what I'm trying to say is you don't need to do it
Oh, okay.
unless you just really, really want to take apart the perfectly good wagon that you just made.
You know Tax does.
No, I know. I do. I'm
Well,
just saying.
Tax, might I suggest that you go ahead and craft the skis? And you don't have to attach them, but then if we get stuck, we might be able to, speed up the process of getting unstuck by already having them on hand.
I'm gonna check Marina. What, you're just getting slapped with guidance every time?
Okay.
Every time you're looking at
So
stuff.
this is
And should you need somebody to take a look at it with expertise, I have the ability of 10 minutes of proficiency in anything.
Excellent. Excellent. Good to know.
A goddess of
Miranda
knowledge.
said hello.
10 minutes is not a lot, but 10 minutes of proficiency
10
in
minutes of
anything
proficiency is
Nice.
can work with that.
You can work a miracle with that.
Yeah.
So give me a dexterity check with the tools to craft a set of 4 sleds that you can attach to the wagon somehow.
Well, I rolled low as hell.
you need to use a different dice.
Yeah, I do. So that's 7
Mm-hmm.
plus the bonus, which is 2. Shall I use her advantage and roll another dice? Because I really appreciate that. Because anything above a 5.
That was her point in doing that, saying that. So.
Oh, you can guide it.
Oh yeah.
And
No.
add a
Guidance
D4.
was the D4.
And what is your proficiency?
So my I didn't add my proficiency bonus.
Right. I was about to say.
I just added my dex plus. My proficiency is plus. Okay, so I rolled a 5 plus 2 is 7 plus guidance would be 9 plus proficiency is 11.
That works. Yeah.
Huh?
17 plus 3.
Yeah, that's what.
So 9 plus 3 is 12.
Oh, my apologies.
Which is average. You have advantage if you want to use it because of the.
I'm gonna try this other teeny tiny plastic dice instead of the big heavy dice because the big heavy dice seems to be smacking me about. That's a 17. I'll take that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you look at the wood. It's been a while since you've. Right. It's been a while. It's been a period of time since you have enjoyed the feel of carpentry and woodworking tools in your hands. But once you begin working with it, you find some suitable pieces of wood from around the grounds of the ramshackle, and you kind of find your groove pretty easily. Oddly enough, Sistine keeps you company, and something about her presence and her demeanor makes the work pleasant, and you're able to get it done within about an hour.
To be perfectly fair, Sistine makes everything perfectly pleasant.
That is true. That is true. So it is now
Tax
approaching.
says to no one.
Right. So it's now getting later into the evening hours. And,
Watches, yeah.
well, I don't know. You're in your own place. Are you
Uh,
just going to assume it's safe?
No, because
No.
of how many times things have shown up to try and take me away.
Tax will take first watch, but someone should 3,000% be with her because she's just gonna keep tinkering with shit.
I
But she's
will
like,
take
shut
first
off!
watch. I'll take first watch with you, Tax.
Are we assuming that things
I
will have
will
to?
work up early.
Are we assuming things will have to come in through a door or a window to get you?
I think so. So probably put me somewhere where there's no doors or windows.
Let's put you in the inner room, my inner room for right now. That's why there's an extra series of walls and doors between you and
Yes,
anybody.
I'm just going to say the people that have been coming to get you have gone through a great deal of effort to make sure that they know where you're going to be in a couple of days.
Yeah.
This is fair, but we're not taking any chances.
No.
I mean, I don't blame them.
Also, Tax will report, as she has been studying this place, there's only one door in and one door out.
That is, sure, I don't know.
That is true. According to the plans, that is true.
We might want
It
to.
seems unlikely. There are also
OSHA
windows.
violation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say when we fix this place up and when we have time, we should, add more doors out.
Yeah, there definitely is a main door, but I mean, yeah, there are windows.
There's windows. There's windows.
And they are rather large double doors.
They are rather large double doors, but there is only the one door.
Yeah, we're definitely adding another door.
Now, she for the evening is in my little tower nook there in the center, so there's another door and no exterior access. Except for the chimney.
One of
There's a fire going.
you, both of you, give me perception checks.
Yes.
Tax, yours will be at disadvantage because you're,
Team 3.
yes.
Am I the other perception session?
No,
No, that's Broad Yaga.
Okay.
What is my perception? Oh, I'm fucked. No.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, we have 2 sets of fucks.
Hey, I got a 13 out of +0.
Alrighty.
You did better
Broad
than
Yaga,
me.
what did you?
7.
I got a 7 with my +6.
Well,
Way to go.
you guys are super confident that there is absolutely nothing to worry about.
Let me sing my abjuration
You
music
feel
right now.
so safe in your new place. And, even though there's a lot of work that's going to need to be done to it, you're just like, man, this place is awesome. Nothing bad will get us in here. And your watch passes uneven.
I'll add on second watch.
Oh. At the end of my watch, since I didn't,
Yes. No,
since I
who's on
didn't,
first?
since I didn't require any spell use during my watch, I will cast Good Berries twice
Yeah, she's on first.
Okay,
and then go to bed.
very good. Keep
Tax
track of your good berries.
Tax
I
will stoke all the fires that are lit, keep everyone warm with magical fiery goodness, and down to sleep she goes.
Very good. Who's taking second watch?
No, second one.
I'll do a second.
Alrighty, both of you give me perception checks.
6.
20.
Well, I beat both of my numbers. So, again, Sandalphon, you are keenly aware that this, even though this should be a safe place, it is hard for you to relax, but you do manage to make it through your watch. Nothing happens. Who's on top?
I don't know.
I guess Farouk and I are.
Alrighty, give me perception.
Roche is
check.
on last watch, if there's going to be a last one.
Are you doing 2-hour or 3-hour watches?
2 hour.
2 hours.
Yeah.
11.
Farouk?
Oh, yeah. A raw 17.
Yeah, I don't know.
His
My app
special.
decided to update.
Yeah.
So it's 17 plus
Screen
1, I
switch.
think.
Okay,
That's me.
Yeah.
IT people.
I just rolled a fuck yeah, so that's a 20 and a 1.
Wow, you did roll a fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
Fuck yeah. So I mean, literally, that's what it says.
Yeah.
But Sisson, during the early morning hours of the watch, you have.
You okay? You want my shoe to set it
Yeah.
fall off?
I don't know that you would call it
My
anxiety,
shoe likes your shoe. Well, my shoe is a
but
rainbow.
you feel the need
For
to
speed.
commune with your deity before you set out on this trip, or very much before you go to the actual event itself.
All right.
Where's long resting?
So you guys get a long rest. The dawn of, well, maybe not dawn, but the morning of Flame Rule the 15th rolls around. The early morning hours of the lightning storm from 2 to 8.
Those two.
Oh, nice.
For my day.
Nice. Keep track of this.
Yeah, they're written. They're in the calendar.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Gonna wish you had those on the 17th.
I know. That's what I was just thinking.
So the lightning storm begins to dissipate around 8 a.m. You're able you're actually able to indulge yourself in using a kitchen to prepare a meal, which you haven't had the luxury of doing in quite some time. Although, the other side of that is you've normally had people preparing meals.
Yeah.
Or you could eat a good berry.
Or you can eat a good berry.
I will take a good berry because I do not trust my cooking.
I trust your cooking, Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Right? That's for sure. I'm going back tomorrow.
Do it.
Oh, there's dessert.
And there's dessert.
If it's too cold or whatnot, we're happy to accept. Just when we get a lot of people in here, we turn the air down. So just let us know.
We cannot get it too cold.
Perfect. Same here. I just want to make sure people are comfortable.
I brought cover just in case because I know myself. Allie knows where the dessert is. I think it's in the garage.
I'm not so cold. Yeah. We got lots of jackets. So if you need a jacket, just let me know.
Well, I was telling you blankets, because all our blankets.
Oh, blanket.
Girls was like pink, purple.
It's a,
So I don't have
Purple is a royal color.
Yes.
I have no. Commune is a. Like, is that an upper level?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was like.
No commune. I was like, okay.
I was not
Well, I was
ready
like, I
for
don't
the
like my guy. It's
road.
just gonna be praying. The old fashioned kind, not a spell kind.
Ah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's good. That's sure was poking me.
We're going over.
Pick up.
Trying to get all the timesheets approved and for.
I was trying to do it mine. I was like, oh, I got one more.
Yeah.
To have that
Talk to him like he's
tomato
hey,
bread because I love
that's
bread.
not awkward at all.
It's fucking delicious.
This is true.
Well, I had to ask HR
Because he
for.
put in like 12 hours on Friday. What is this? Couldn't have his shit done.
Oh.
I mean, he has it.
Okay, y'all. So
I can do everybody's evaluations before I leave.
the morning breaks. The sky, the lightning storm gives way to a light dusting of snow. Almost languidly falling snowflakes drifting to the ground. The wind, not really even howling all that much. Like, usual.
Bless you. Oh, here it is. Oh.
So,
The worst I got.
what would you like to do?
Get the sledge out of the front.
Yeah, I say we commence plan.
What's the weather like in the morning?
A light dusting of snow.
Let's see.
That's a great one. I like
You
that.
know that you are
Beautiful morning in Icewind Dale.
Broad Yaga's weather weasel has prognosticated that you will be having a day of where the light snow dusting is the worst weather you will face all day.
It's going to be a beautiful day in Icewind Dale.
That is indeed one way to put it. So you're
stops the cart like it's that we're gonna travel on, like it's gonna
Ooh.
carry us over.
You guys, how are you gonna? How
Are you gonna do this?
are you going to do this?
Need books still?
Croesus is gonna not take shotgun, and is going to towards the back,
To
covering the
try
road.
to make it as useful as possible. We want to get everything loaded up, the tack ready. Rajaga, I don't assume I want to put this around your neck before you change, but kind of get you in position so when you change, we hook up and get you as soon as possible.
Right.
So has everybody gone potty? Has everybody got everything out of the room?
Quick question. Does anyone have animal handling?
Do you want to be handled, Rajaga?
You'll
Not-
still be able to understand us, right?
Yes, I will still be able to understand you.
I have animal.
I do not have animal handling,
Will
though I
you-
do have
okay.
intimidation.
Brod, will you be able to communicate?
He can speak with animals. Surely the inverse works.
No, I really won't be able to communicate with them.
Let's come up with
All
some
right, here you go.
signs. Some
Rajaga.
signs.
Yeah, 2 stomps is a yes, 1 stomp is a no.
If you want our attention, nay 3 times.
Yeah, 3 stomps means you need something else.
If I want your attention, I'll stop walking.
That's a
And
good
that's
one.
fair.
Y'all will probably go, "Hey, Broad stopped walking. I wonder why."
I wonder why.
So my frost rune gives me advantage on animal handling checks and intimidation. That goes hand in hand as I intimidate creatures into the
I was gonna say, yeah. No, that's actually the same action.
I was like, nice kitty. But I was sitting here looking at my character sheet. It says advantage on animal handling. I was like, where's that coming from?
I have 2 days of comp time they don't transfer. I have to burn 2 days of comp time.
Between now.
I think I'm just gonna take Tuesday and Thursday off.
Okay.
I'm taking vacation next week, so I don't lose vacation before it's.
So,
So before we head out, while people are getting ready, I'm going to take the time to ritual cast augury. Is that how you say it?
Oh, yeah.
augury.
And so, throw in the
Chicken bones,
bones.
coffee leaves,
Tea leaves. Pee on the ground with the
So-
and the snow.
Coffee leaves.
What does Sisten's augury look like?
Guitar.
She has pieces of
I have some.
a weaver shuttle
Mhm.
that could be used when it's all together, but when it's tossed, has a particular meaning. So you can see whether it's good results, bad results, both good and bad results, or nothing. But looking for an omen for our journey about the results of going towards carrying the Karn.
So you have some divining tool. You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity of the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
But I'm going to use it as an opportunity, since I'm not kind of level commune yet, to also hear and listen to my goddess's thoughts on our moving forward. So it is a way to
What is your ritual? Tell me what it looks like.
So I say, oh, weaver of all the great knowledge in the world, we go on this, we're about to embark on a trip to save someone. I'd like to know if there is any way that we could, anything that I could know that would help us assure success and save this lost soul. And protect ourselves and myself and my companions to be able to learn more and grow more in your wisdom.
So you have a weaver's shovel,
Mhm.
right? So what is the action that you do?
So it's put together in 3 pieces, and I very carefully take it apart and say, show me your way, and throw it out.
So you throw them down, the 3 pieces spill onto the ground. Or meditate? At a table?
I'd probably do it on the ground.
Oh, on the ground? So they spill into the ground, and you know that there are both good and bad results that will come from your journey. Something about the way one of the pieces looks on the ground recalls the dream you had a few nights ago about Olive and her history and her modus operandi, what she's doing. And so you feel like maybe you should meditate. Because one thing is for certain, you, of all beings, are aware that not everything is what it seems.
And because it's been a month and a half of actual time and only 2 days of game time, could I refresh that dream a little bit? It's very vivid to me, Joe. It really is.
So what you're saying is, hey Dan, did you write that down somewhere?
I am asking that.
Oh,
I
wow.
might have written it down.
I know that I did. I just don't know if I have it here.
Oh, hey. What? Sorry.
Did you Facebook Messenger with you?
I have Longstrider. I'm gonna once we're there and Radyaga's a horse, I would like to tap that Longstrider ass.
Nice. Give yourself inspiration for the day.
Target speed increases by 10 feet until the spell ends, and it
Yeah.
lasts for an hour.
Yeah. Sweet. I just wanted to see whether it was creature or person or whatnot. Nice.
Luckily,
Nice.
Susan,
That's why I take time in the
Are you
morning
in
to
role
repair
playing?
my spells.
I can be in roleplay, but I just want to say, had a dream
You and me in the
that
war?
speaks a word that I recognize, and I see the visage of the seeker. Has so many faces familiar and aligned. You are seeking me as you seek yourself. Be aware there are forces that will gladly destroy you. Choose your mask carefully, but no, I'm just prayer away. Is that the dream you see? No.
I was not ready for it. Oh.
Okay, so if you look in your, you have a new handout.
Sweet.
He's so pretty, babe.
Which might make things a little more clear.
Yeah.
So, Siston completes her ritual with kind of a mixed bag of results. What time would you say you all woke up this morning? Began to move around.
We probably 6:30 because we were wanting to get on the road by 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, they said that the lightning and bullshit ended at 8 a.m. We're at the door going.
Well, it's not exactly 8 a.m.
Yeah.
But the lightning begins to recede, and you can tell that it is giving way to the next weather pattern, which will be the light snow dusting. Like I said, the languid fall of snowflakes, gently landing on your tongue. Unfortunately, they're micro black holes. Snowflakes. So anyway, you do that.
Whatever.
8 a.m.-ish rolls around. You have a wagon with some skis attached to the side of it if you need them. There's room for all of you in the wagon. I will say this is not what you would consider like a gypsy home or anything like that. This is kind of like a Castanoga.
Yeah.
It's a covered box is what it is. So do not eschew your cold weather gear.
I'm imagining, one, because she would want to, and two, because she would want to conserve space. Tax would sit either on Varuk's leg or Sandalphon's lap.
I'm done with this.
I am down low
I have
out of
so
whatever
many
wind and probably have canvas and tarp or whatever kind of wrapped around because I do not like being cold.
So here's a question. Are you going to let the horse lead, figure out his own path, or is someone going to...
Wherever the horse is going, Tax is going to want to be observant, as she is just naturally, taking all of it in as we travel. So, however she is sitting on someone, I would want them to be in that direction.
So mechanically speaking, what I'm asking is, who's going to be making the survival checks for whether you guys get lost in the snow or not?
Gaga.
Like always.
Can you do that as a horse?
Yeah, you retain all your mental faculties.
Well then, I say you let the horse drive.
I agree.
I'm all about
Just-
letting the horse drive, but Tax is going to want to, have her notebook open.
Sure. All right, Rod, let's get this wagon rolling, literally.
All right, let's
Give you
get
some of that.
the wagon rolling.
Yeah.
Get that right.
And
So
Tax
we want
does.
a survival check.
Mhm. And I do believe this is your chosen environment, so.
And you have Longstrider, friend.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why I have. Well, I'm just going to roll it, and then we'll get back to what I'm trying to figure out. That might be a 21. For some reason, my D&D Beyond character sheet thinks I have expertise, and I'm trying to figure out why. But 21 or 23 should probably keep us on the right path.
Yeah. I mean, for the first hour or so, you make your way. You've been in this area for a couple of days now. You've roamed around. You hear off in the distance the baying and happy howling of Silvernose and his pack, as it appears that they are tracking down breakfast.
Which happens to be a draft horse.
And they are successful in their tracking down of the breakfast, and you can hear the happy yips that go kind of back and forth with this. Given you make it, we said this is going to take 4 hours, right?
It's going to be 2 hours short rest, 2 more hours.
Plus Longstrider, so slightly less.
Yeah.
So you make your way for 2 hours as a horse, super confident that you know where you're going, and you actually, because you're familiar with the area, you're able to know where to put your hooves and where to pull the wagon behind you and not let it fall off into giant banks of snowdrifts. So you're able to you make it there, and you begin to feel the magic of the shape change begin to wane, and so you've done your 2 hours as a horse.
All right. Then I stop.
All right.
He stopped. I think he might want our attention.
Let me check him. I'm staying warm.
It has been approximately 2 hours, right? Is this what we're saying, that when you
I have
stop, it's been 2
ADHD. I
hours?
don't know how long time goes.
I am asking out of game so that Tax can answer in game.
Yeah.
Does Tax want to watch?
Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't you answer yes to that question?
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's almost exactly 2 hours. You're like, huh, Tax's middle finger is coming up on the 2 hour ding!
So I will say, there is nothing wrong. It should be 2 hours, so I believe we should be seeing Road Yaga shortly.
Rod?
The bird.
I imagine that Tax's watch is actually like a Mickey Mouse watch.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Tax.
Yeah.
It's,
There's 16 hands moving around.
like, is this fourth dimension of time? No, this is time flows around.
Hey, that's a pretty fancy timekeeping device you've got there.
Is that what that's for?
Anyway, are you guys short resting?
Well, I climb up out of the sled and walk over to Brad Yaga, help him kind of get the thing off with him and out from the reins and whatnot, and say, how are you feeling? Do you feel like we're on proper course? It looks mostly right to me, but I would not trust my judgment. Do you need to take an independent kind of assertion of where we are?
I've been taking an independent assertion of where we are the whole time.
So
And,
this is Don asking. Okay, so unlike polymorph, you get to retain your mental faculties. Okay,
Yes.
yes.
sweet.
That's why druidic shape change is so awesome.
Do we need to
Yeah.
check the sled while we're stopped to see if there's anything looking like it might be being damaged? And
Broad,
shore
you
up there?
are.
Yeah.
Broad, you are confident with the long strider that you have made very good time. So
How long is one for last?
1 hour, and it adds 10 feet per
6 seconds.
6 seconds. So it's an extra 60 feet per
We
minute.
probably hated this ride.
Okay, I just need to.
Yeah.
Right. So
Absolutely
so
horrible.
I would say with that, you normally move. What is it? Drop force movement? 40 feet.
Yeah. So it'd be
So
50.
your movement goes 50 feet. So you've
That's about
made
the
up.
same
You've
thing.
made about 25% more time. So you think you've got
I'm strong. I
about
don't think you have the strength.
somewhere between an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes until you reach the Durgar Friendship and Happiness, Peace and Love Incorporated Outreach Center.
Excellent, because I got another long strider in the bag.
All right then.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, that's great stuff. And here's the thing I probably should have done this morning and didn't do. Let's see.
Tax also does an inspection of the wagon while we're stopped to see if there's anything that looks like it's on its way to breaking.
Give me an investigation.
That's what I'm about to do, my friends. That is at a natural 18 plus 7.
Yeah, you look it over. You know what? You do good work.
All right.
I do. Yeah,
And-
goddamn do.
Yeah, and you actually take a moment to just kind of appreciate. You're like,
Bask in it.
oh, wow, good job. Way to go, me.
Imagine if I made this from scratch.
Right.
It'd be so fucking cool. I'm gonna make one when I get back.
You're like, I'm going to whittle a sleigh. But yeah, you've done it. This is a sturdy and safe wagon. Doesn't appear to be falling apart. You guys appear to be on course. You're ahead of schedule by 30 minutes. Ooh, man, this day is coming up, Lamplighters.
Something's gonna go wrong. Something's gonna go
And I
wrong.
noticed your shirt.
You like
It's about
this?
to go
With the
even
lamp.
better.
Well,
It's going to go even better.
I want to know why I had the shirt. I saw Matt Mercer wearing this shirt. I did not know it was Blood. I've never played Bloodborne. People look over to me and are like, "Is that a Bloodborne shirt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But he was wearing it, and I saw it. And I'm like,
I thought it was a lamplighter shirt.
"That is almost an anime girl with a lamp and a full moon." And Shanna's off to the side of it. She goes, "What the fuck is that shirt?" And I go, "I don't know." there's a Twitter feed called Crit Roll Closet
Yeah.
that
Nice.
tells you what they wear.
I love it.
So, needless to say, within about 10 minutes, there were 2 of them on the way to our house. One for me, one for the girl.
That's I can't believe they have a wardrobe website.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Well, because they wear different, a lot of.
Well, I guess
There was
they're
some-
billboards, so they probably get sponsored.
So,
They're all sorts of
All
stuff.
right. Hey, everybody, before the short rest,
I love it.
before
So-
the short rest, Broad
Yep.
will gather everyone around. Well, you don't have to be that close. Everybody be within 60 feet of me, at least once during the short rest. And I will sit there, meditate a little bit, and a spectral bear appears next to me, and everybody take 7 temporary hit points. My free gift to you for joining Hair Club for Men.
Yay.
We need to do this like traveling thing more often. Road trip more often.
Yeah. And Hoot is also going to be a beneficiary of those 7 temporary hit points, by the way, Joe.
7
Very
temporary
good.
hit points.
And by the way, D&D Beyond just made it really easy to add temporary.
Yeah, they
hit
have their own little thing on
Yeah.
the side.
points. I don't have to even go into it. So
D&D
yeah.
Beyond, yeah.
D&D.
So
D&D
I
Beyond.
will say this. I know that we're doing this physically. If we get some sort of combat situation, please hop into Roll20 to keep up with hit points.
Yeah, so you can see what's going on.
Because I need to see that.
Yep.
And I'm not going to do the math. I'm just not. I've gotten so spoiled to having to.
I was telling Allie that my next project is a Roll20 table. I've got the plans.
I've got the plans.
Yeah.
I've got the.
And so
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the TV and everything. But you know what? That takes away the physical crafting part of it, man. I don't know. I'm feeling personally attacked.
One reason you can't do both.
It's true.
Exactly.
I think we should
Tables like
see if
this.
that television right there. Anyways, we're getting off track. So,
It's going to look like that. It's going to be a TV
so
on the grid.
is it okay if I sit in the armrest, John?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you break, you buy it.
I mean, all right. So you guys, you've made some good time. You left at 8. Rob popped back into human form at 10. You took a short rest. It's now 11. You have an hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes before you pull up onto the Gray Dwarf Peace and Love Incorporated building.
Sweet.
Jesus mercy will incorporate.
Hundi doing Long Strider once he's horsey again.
Yeah, go right ahead. Do the long strider. Give me a survival. To make it,
Alrighty. And so it is 9. I do have
Yes.
expertise.
No. Huh?
I said
You
it
do?
is plus 9. I do have expertise.
So that looks like a 19, regardless.
Yeah.
So again, you kind of skirt around the Dwarven Valley, making your way
No,
to the northwestern part where
Use that for Chris.
the Jurgar outpost is. You have about 15 to 20 minutes of shape change when you kind of pull into the side of the hill where the Jurgar outpost is, and you think to yourself, wow, if only we knew what that looked like. And you do, and I will actually get you there.
Well, and I definitely want someone who can move quietly to go look before we all walk up there with loud noises and whatnot.
that is not me.
Aw, man.
I am observant, and I've been observant this whole time, as I said. So,
Are you quiet?
No.
no, but with my observance, I should, and I mean, Joe can tell me otherwise, I should be able, since we've been here before, and I was observant the last time I was here.
Tell you what.
Were you?
No, I think I got observant after. You're correct,
Yeah.
but I am observant now.
I mean, I gotta help with perception. I just want someone.
Slightly more quiet.
Yeah.
I'm getting to observe it to like get into the nitty gritty details, but I know it does some really cool shit.
Right on.
I'm slightly more stealthy than the average bear. I have very good survival skills, so I'm happy to make that plea.
+1.
Are you attempting to? So how far away do you stop? If you,
Half hour out.
About a half hour out. Okay, so that's actually, well, if you're going to be back on foot, that's about a mile away.
That's fine. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. At least a mile out.
Well, a mile. No, sorry. Half a mile is an hour. If you're on foot.
So
No
here is the problem. No one told Broad any of this. Broad's walking straight up to the front door.
And
But
just
we can tell you at any point in time on the walk up, right?
I mean, you can, but are y'all looking out and seeing where I'm going?
Yeah. I'm assuming it
passes
starts. Yeah.
the whole time. I have a +5 bonus to my passive perception and passive investigation scores. So my passive perception is
Should be on the side over there.
well 15 or 14. So as we are just strolling on top of my investigation.
You just rolled. Rolled is not passive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My passive is 15.
Right.
Okay. Are you guys taking any precautions? You just kind of
No,
rocking right on up to the front door.
And
No,
my
we're
passive
not.
investigation is
we're
22.
not walking right up to the front door. We're going to rein in about a half mile away.
Are you
There-
sure?
There are no reins.
There's some in Africa.
I would
Bless
say
them.
I would say 15 minutes, so quarter of a mile.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sure.
So, as I recall, there was a tower.
Well, I mean, if you look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
roll 20, you
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah, Croesus would absolutely want to check the tower first as we approach, seeing as that's where he got shot last time.
You know what? That's his fault.
Yeah.
It's blackout for me, friend.
Huh?
Is
Is it
black.
really?
Yeah. I see probably where I was last time. There we go.
Yeah. Don't. You know what? Hang on.
All right.
Let me delete everyone from there.
I
No,
can't
what?
see anymore.
I know you can.
We all
I
have
know.
to be next to a crisis.
Just a motherfucking minute.
It's okay. I know you're working on it.
20
Fine.
minutes.
Take your time.
Is the dessert readily accessible in the garage?
I can
I
make
really,
it, but
really
just
would
finish
like
this,
a large
finish this real
helping
quick.
of that dessert. I believe it would make me feel better.
All right.
I mean, probably won't, but okay.
There we are.
There we
We're,
You're probably not appropriately sized, but
we're not appropriately
Far off.
sized.
Can you be stealthy, Bruce?
okay. So there you
Yeah,
are.
that's not too bad.
Could we do
Tower's
that?
over here.
Yep, tower's
Oh,
over
no,
there.
we're twice the size we're supposed to be. I see.
Yeah, probably. So, you know, change your size, whatever, as you wish.
He's plinky. Do you wear armor?
Tats, as you kind of return into this,
Do you want to come
Kind of-
in and we'll go sneak?
walking up the hillside, and you see that guard tower, and your senses kind of perk up, and you're intently looking. Did you make a roll, or are you just going passive?
Passive investigation is line out of 22.
So
Are we attempting to be sneaky as we approach?
Yes, you are.
okay, so you're trying to be sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then give me some stealth checks. Give me a party stealth check.
Well,
Well,
we're
in
going
a
to say the
wagon.
people who are Well,
Yeah.
did we actually roll up to the front door or not? Because if we didn't, then
Y'all told me that you were going to stop me a quarter mile away.
that's right.
Yes.
Okay. So at that point, I walk out to you and say, we're walking the rest of the way up.
Okay.
Do you want to shift back, or are you going to stay as a draft horse?
I'd say it was a draft horse, because we're gonna want the wagon up there.
We don't care if the wagon's up there.
We can try.
Okay, I see. What else? What do we have? What do we have? What'd you get? Stealth.
Well, who's going up?
I'm going up because I'm one of the sneakiest ones of you.
Yeah, you
So
are.
is
Sneakiest.
Croesus.
Croesus is right behind you.
Okay.
17.
Less sneaky. 17. Good.
I'll stay here and protect the rest.
No stealth for
look,
you.
Worst case scenario about leaving the wagon is I take a short rest and then go get the wagon.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm at disadvantage, so let me roll that again. But damn, I wish I wasn't at this.
You can stay here.
Why are you
and
at-
Why are we sending someone with disadvantage on stealth as the
Why do you
stealth
have
team?
disadvantage on stealth?
Because she has observant, but other people can
Wait,
observe.
why do you have disadvantage on stealth?
Because I have scale mail. Yeah, so you're not going. You're staying with me.
Scale mail?
Yes, you're staying with me.
You think it's not very flexible because the scales are actually almost like hand shields? They're like bucklers? Okay, so you have disadvantage because you're scale.
You're like wearing a scale.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Okay, so what do we have?
They're snake scales. They're itty
I
bitty.
see a 16, I see a 23, I got a 17, you're sneaking, right?
Yeah.
So you got a 16, a 17,
Yeah.
a 23. Who else is sneaking? Baruch, you sneaking?
Yeah.
No. Because
You
you
sneaking?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I was the 17.
You're the 17. Sister, what'd you get?
I got the 6.
You got the 6. So you're kind of making your approach, and you kind of lose your footing a little bit, kind of slip, like a rock just tumbling down the hill. Give me perception or investigation checks for everybody checking out this place.
All right.
17.
I'm rolling 4.
Oh,
10.
I see everyone who got here, and I know their birthdays,
Yeah.
and I'm still not bringing them a present.
20.
So
That's not a 20.
every
Always are rolling off.
Oh, musician that blames the instrument.
Yeah, I know. But you know how I usually roll, and this is not it.
Does not appear that iPad lights.
you just rolling a bunch of them.
They're choosing me tonight.
Using an
I
app.
got you.
I don't know if you've ever seen me choose my dice, but I asked them to make choices whether they're on my team or against it.
Let me see.
We have a lot to choose from. I just want you to know.
You see this whole section over here?
Yeah.
Almost each one is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it.
It's still loading.
I roll them at the beginning of the night, and the lowest ones get to the corner.
They-
They can come up if the other ones don't
Right.
behave.
If they choose not to run, then you know. So stealth check.
Stealth check.
Stealth check.
All right.
No wait, you got a 6. This is a perception check.
Yeah, the perception check was 10.
A 10? Okay. So those of you who made over 15 for perception, this whole outpost
Yeah, like it's starting or something.
looks almost exactly how you left.
Oh, good.
It doesn't look like there's been any new traffic in. Now, I mean, granted, it has been snowing, there's been weather, it's, you know, if somebody, you know, if the Jurgar decided to send more members of their Peace Corps here to help the inhabitants of Icewind Dale, you may not see their traffic, but what you don't see, bless you, what you don't see or hear or notice is any signs of occupation. It's almost eerily quiet.
I am going to really get where if we feel like it's safe to progressing, I have Fine Traps, which has 120 feet. And I want to have,
Have you tried so far?
I
Did you do the same thing?
I do. I need this. I'm not, like, not a want. It's a need. Oh my god.
And quite put it in it.
It says mobile Safari on iOS is what they currently say.
I'm gonna let my
I would
brother
try Safari again.
Oh
Me?
Okay, so
Let me try it back.
you're pretty confident that the place is empty?
I probably won't finish this.
Are you, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to search.
When do you start doing Fine Traps?
so I went out for a little bit and you guys moved her into the room.
Mhm.
She had dinner as part of that.
But I assumed that she ate when Veracruz got here.
She did.
Okay.
She ate at 3.
Oh, okay. No,
From the time he got home, she was kind of put her in the room. No food.
I got home much later than 3.
I am going to. I'm going to search around the base of the tower and the building and look for signs of vermin.
Give me a survival
I'm sure there's some vermin. There's got to be some rats.
with advantage.
Okay. Oh, 18. Oh, 20. Sorry, I rolled that from roll 20, which doesn't realize I'm.
You don't see signs of anything that would be threatening.
I'm not
Like,
looking for
there's
threatening.
Huh?
I'm not looking for threatening. I'm looking
Oh,
for.
you're looking for food.
So this is
No, I'm not. I'm looking for someone to talk to.
unless you have a subscription to go untap it.
I will pull out a good berry and
Hold on,
start
Tab.
chittering in rat. Like, hey guys, what's going on? Anybody want some food?
So within a few minutes, you get like a little fifle, and he kind of looks at you real cautiously, and he's like, "You guys don't normally speak our language. What's up?" And he's like, you can tell he's salivating looking at the good berry.
I place the good berry between us, closer to him than me.
Okay.
Want some poison?
He kind of
There's an animal handling check.
He cautiously walks up to it, kind of takes a little nibble at it. And like, there's a shudder of joy, much like me eating this.
Good berry.
That passes. This is the good berry right here. And he's like, "Oh, so good, so good. Thank you.
You're very
But you-
welcome.
Yes." And,
So,
and like,
Can I ask you a question?
and he's like,
You said we don't normally speak your language, which is true. Have you seen any other big folk around here in the past week or so? Or wait, how long has it been since we cleared this place out?
That's a fantastic question.
I don't think it's
Like-
been that long. It's only been like
It's
4 days or something? 5
yeah,
days?
4 days.
Yeah, in the past couple of days then.
Because, there hasn't been anyone here since all the, well, okay, you're all really big ones, but there were some that were here, that were living here, and they're kind of jerks, but they're not as bigger ones, so they're smaller, bigger. So we'll go with small, big. So there were many small bigs here, and then some medium bigs and big bigs came in, and it looks to me like they murdered the shit out of the little bigs. And since the little bigs were like murdered, there's a mini bag here.
Good to know. My friends and I will be staying here for at least one night. We won't bother you if y'all don't bother us. And, we'll leave some food out for you.
You know what? You leave the food out, and we'll be your buddies.
All right. Well, enjoy your berry. Thank you.
You know, my wife and her friends, they occasionally make dresses for people.
I, for good measure, just do cast fine traps to make sure there's nothing. We've looked over it before.
Where are you when you cast it? Give me a pinguine.
Where are we? Are we going to go into the tower or into the place where we went to last
First
time?
off, there's no tower. There's a kind of a bunker. That's the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this thing right here.
Yeah.
This. Why are you?
But we're going to go. We're going to stay kind of where the guys stay, right?
Yeah.
So I would go. I would go to the open.
Is there a roll that you make, or is it just nope? You just find them.
It is find traps. You
Mhm.
sense the presence of any trap within the range, which is 120 feet, that is within a line of sight. A trap for the purpose of the spell includes anything that would inflict sudden or unexpected effect you consider harmful or undesirable.
Brad Yaga is pinging quite highly.
So if you.
Yeah, I'm looking at Broad and going, whoa,
Unexpected.
that's
Right.
kind of right
So
there.
the problem there is it requires line of sight.
Which is stupid.
So I mean,
for a trap-based spell.
you can open the front doors
Mhm.
and you can look through, through the place where there's, the skeletized remains of embiggened Durgar that got pushed down into the pit.
Man, we're mean.
Yeah, but yeah, you can see like that to, here, if you want to cast it there.
All right.
So you cast it.
Mm-hmm.
There is nary a trap
All right.
present.
I feel better.
Nary a trap. In fact, other than the mice, and maybe some other mice, this place is still deserted. The
Awesome.
Dalo, as you kind of walk up to the front doors, as you begin to get close, you are reminded of the moment that you had, and the experience and the emotions that you have with it. Like it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
It's still a little fresh, and there's a certain cloying scent of, rotted Durgar blood.
Yeah.
Literally everywhere, especially in the pit, where there are Varuk footprints all around it. And then if you look real closely at the wood, there's places where it looks like feet slipped, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, this place, it doesn't smell like a slaughterhouse. But there's definitely a scent of decay present. Simply because dried blood does smell bad.
But once we get in and it looks around, I'll brighten up the light on the staff.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of spread out and check the area. There were those things we opened up the gates to say they could leave. They were kind of the sentient.
And those were the spore servants?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still there? Or
They are not.
Okay.
Nope, they took off.
I'm going to go ahead, once we kind of get settled, sit down and ritualistically cast Detect Magic and just kind of walk the area over 10 minutes just to see if anything pings.
You walk from room to room, other than the items that your party has.
Yep.
Nothing.
All right.
Give me a general intelligence check. You two, Tax.
Oh, did anyone come and get me and Sandalphon?
Yeah, we're not.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I meant when we got settled. Once we
Okay.
kind of got in there and looked around, We went and got the rest of everybody.
We're still in the wagon, just going.
No.
Oh, pretty fast.
Oh, does anybody have prestidigitation? Can we just clean this stuff up real quick, please?
I rolled an 18 or an 18.
Good enough.
You said just straight up intelligence or investigation?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do it here. Habit.
So between the two of you, you kind of put it together that it hasn't really been long enough.
Yeah.
You're not really sure where the Viragar come from, but you're pretty sure it takes probably at least a day or two to get there from here.
Yeah.
And you didn't leave any survivors.
Yeah.
We should probably.
So it doesn't, I mean, if somebody came to check, they haven't had time to come here, check, leave, go back, get some more dwarves, and come back here. So you're pretty confident that this place is still in a state of abandonment.
Okay. We should probably maybe figure out some kind of alarm system, so if somebody comes up one of those rear entrances, we'll get an alert before they get close enough to do us harm.
I don't think I must be.
Are you asking me to set up a booby trap?
Or no, I was thinking an alarm, like a tingling.
I'm logged into it, but I can't see shit. I can't tell if my token's there or.
Do you have Chrome or using?
I've tried.
This is apparently a new issue with iPads. In
Really?
Yeah.
So the
Baruch is
super,
there.
the
little
super
token.
amazing thing that you purchased.
I mean, the reason why I purchased it was for in-person playing.
Well, yeah, and it's obviously worked for a long time. I have no.
Well, you know what? If you
What's
don't,
the issue?
that's fine. And just keep over here.
He cannot get the map to load on an iPad in Roll20.
Yeah, I can never get that to work. I use my iPhone to roll to me.
Okay. Interesting.
So, you guys have
Anybody else can tell if they can see my token on
right,
there.
I can see.
I'm going to use my tinkering tools to set up an impromptu alarm system with, I don't know, a glass jar and some cattle chips.
What are you drinking?
this is
Bang.
black cherry vanilla. You know, we need to come up with a new ability check for your character that's just called some old bullshit. And I need you to roll a d20 and make a some old bullshit roll for me.
In other games, it was called crafting. Like
Sure.
crafting was a skill.
Crafting.
I
I really want some more of this, but I can't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
I mean, yes, you can, but
You do anything
what
you
is
want
it?
to.
It is technically it's keto. It is white chocolate cheesecake fluff, and then the raspberries are just some macerated raspberries with some raspberry hibiscus sparkling water.
I am, if you don't mind, I would have to take some home to the girl.
I figured that's why I was going to encourage you not to take more.
Yeah, because she's working tonight, and if I roll up with that, I will be like,
Savior.
yeah, she'll be like
with someone
That'd be like,
that I
see, I told
interviewed
you.
with.
Okay, so
Yeah.
dwarf house, nobody
How'd that
home.
happen?
It's about 2:00 in the afternoon. You've got about a day and a half.
Do you want
Before
me to do intelligence and dexterity to do the alarm?
I'm gonna go with intelligence.
Okay.
Yeah.
16 plus.
Yeah,
9.
yeah. You are highly confident that where are you putting it?
He wants it at the front door, yeah?
Actually, I was saying that there was that back way that someone can come in, just so we're not having to necessarily track and
Well,
guard
there's-
every entrance.
If they make it into the bunker, the bunker, and then they find the trap door and they go through there. So yeah, you can put it over the trap door on the inside.
Done.
Done.
It's essentially, it's not grossly sophisticated.
Doesn't have to be.
It is a glass jar with some caltrops, and if someone opens the door,
He couldn't have been.
it will be heard.
Yeah.
Just DC can't do that.
Okay. So that takes you roughly about an hour. It's creeping up somewhere between
Those two burglars?
three.
Yeah.
The saves were not good.
between 3 and 4 in the afternoon on Flame Road the 15th. The weather outside is not frightful for Iceland Vale.
Does
still
Rod need to do his weather weasel for the following day?
It is still cold.
It's the person who
It
recommended
is still
the
dark.
colors.
But for the most part, at this time of day, it's kind of like a light cloud coverage. And whenever a Bradyaga wishes to do some more weather weasel, I'm just going to paste the weather forecast in the chat so that we
Or
can.
did you put some?
I mean, I'll
um,
probably do it. I'll probably do it closer to when it's time to go to bed. Since
Right.
we already have a pretty good idea of what the rest of today is like.
Yeah, you know what? Up until like 2 a.m. Well, no, you know from 9 to 1 on the 16th, it will be a light cloud coverage. I said the worse the weather gets is the light snow dusting that you'll have from 7 to 9 p.m.
Sweet.
Other than that, it's light cloud coverage or overcast.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sure.
Y'all
All
want
right.
to go up Caer Koenig and check out the scope out the battlefield?
Elizabeth, but I also kind of want to plan what's the plan? Do we want people to show up that look like me, like you have more than one version of me? I don't know if it would work considering that they can tell who I am because of my little snowflake thing. Well, someday is a way of, not having that be a thing anymore. If anybody has a way of not having that be a thing anymore.
Making what? Not be a thing anymore?
My snowflake tattoo that I have, this magical
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
More of a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that is one of the reasons I took one of the spells I took.
I thought so.
If you're up for it, I'm ready.
I don't know if we want to do that before or after we have Rod's sister because
Okay.
I don't want to make them
Okay.
do anything. Yeah.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
What is our plan? How are we? They are uber powerful, more fuck off powerful than us
Yeah.
by like a long shot.
Who?
The people we're going up against.
The DM.
What?
You were nodding your head.
Enthusiastic
Yes.
about the fact that you're planning on going
Our
head to head against a druid frost giant princess? No problem.
I can take her.
You know that can cast
Dig in.
at least 6 level spells?
It's
Yeah.
not great.
So Tat has been compiling all kinds of plans and sub-plans and asking people, and she still doesn't know what we gonna do.
Yeah, I have no idea what we're going to do.
Did any of you guys, have any of you watched the second episode of Exandria Unlimited Kaimal?
No.
So they had a mechanic because it was a heist, right? Each player got a coin. And at some point during the heist, when things were going wrong, and let's face it, it's the Exandria Unlimited crew, so it was constantly, each player had one opportunity to turn in a coin and say, I planned for that. And then they had to go back and explain how they planned for this thing to happen. And I don't know if I want to do something like that, but if you guys want to convince me of...
Pax is under the impression that we should 100% outsmart them and not overpower them.
Yeah.
Have you met us?
Yeah. I love that idea. Thanks.
Always outgunned, never outnumbered? Wait, that's not the way you want to be.
Living testimony to the fact it's better to be lucky than smart.
So none of us have teleportation.
Oh, no.
I know someone who has teleportation, but no.
Okay.
They know 2 people who I know a couple of people who can do short range teleportation. I know 1 person who can do long range teleportation.
Technically, you can do short range teleportation.
I can, but not consistently.
Could
You can randomly teleport
Yeah,
very short distances.
30 feet.
Brad Yaga, in your druidness, what's the biggest flying creature that you can?
Sandalphon.
Yeah.
I can teleport. Close your eyes.
I don't think they
I
can
don't
turn
think
into
that's how that works. I grew up in the Feywild. You're not gonna pull a fast one on me.
Just close your eyes, trust me.
Brute.
Do you know how many siblings I
Give yourself inspiration. Please. That was.
Can I have your attention?
What is the largest flying
Stay wild trick.
have? Exactly. So I have ADHD now.
Is there anything that your family member might still have on them that I could try to locate so we can maybe determine when they start getting close? A necklace, a particular piece of jewelry that maybe.
Sure, Joe, that I would be aware of something she would be carrying. I guess it's up to you if I do.
You do remember that Finro had a habit of wearing a little locket that you actually gave her on her
Well, that
birthday.
was nice of me.
It was.
It was before you became a dick.
Yeah, it was pre-asshole days.
Yeah.
So yeah. So the reason she wears it is because it reminds her that you used to not be an asshole. So yeah, in fact, she tells it up. She goes, you know how they used to say this is proof Tony Stark has a heart. She like pulls that out and says, this is proof my brother's not always a dick. So was not always a dick. He's dead now. I guess he's not. Anyway, so you do remember that she had the special birthday locket that she never took off. Now, as to whether or not she was allowed to keep her jewelry and accoutrement while, being a guest of the, Frost Maiden Friendly Outreach Corps.
Broad was your mother, did she have any jewelry on her when we found her? What she usually wore?
Maybe,
Would
but
be able to recite precisely what his mother was wearing.
Make an intelligence check. Make a memory check, Tax. Rod, is there a piece of jewelry or something that your mother would have had that you remember?
I'm sure there was. I'm also sure that Broad did not pay enough attention to.
Right, but what would something Tax should be trying to remember? A locket, a ring, an earring, a nose ring, maybe a tongue
Wedding
piercing?
ring?
Nipple piercings?
Yeah, I mean, she would have had like a simple metal band as a wedding ring.
Fair enough.
I have this plus 5, so 19. I rolled a 1. I get a 19.
What?
Did I roll a 1 or I roll a 7? Hold on.
There's
I apologize. I rolled a 7. So
Yeah.
7 plus my modifiers brings me at 7.
So you
plus what
think
it's
back to the brief time you were around Rod's mother, and you do remember being there as you all came together to save her from her poisoning. You recall she did have a ring around her finger.
And how I say this, by the way, is not, yeah, she had a ring on her finger. I was like, wearing a red shirt, blue shoes, this, one ring slightly worn on the outside.
This is the jewelry. I found it. It's really, Tax just bursts it out, and Sandalphon goes through what Tax is saying and goes, ring!
Because then there's a chance that the locket
It's still there.
is still there. Can you really move the locket by just knowing it was there?
It's not quite that simple.
Yeah. Well, I will describe the locket in as great as detail as I am able to.
No.
And
It's
and
just a
I
picture
will.
of you and a picture of a butt, and there's an equal sign with a slash.
Yeah.
I thought I gave this to her. Why would I?
Yeah.
Because you want her to believe that you're not always an asshole.
I don't think he does. I think he kind of wants people to believe he is an asshole.
The thing is, the spell does not last particularly long, but it does have about 1,000-foot range.
You good?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So that 5 I just rolled was a dexterity check to see how good I could draw the locket for.
Oh, good lord! How'd you do?
Number 5 actually drew like a circle with a squiggle in the middle of it.
I'm sorry.
You're like, yep, that's it.
Did you try to draw a donut?
The locket must be in triangle shape too, and he drew a circle.
I'm not good at art.
Luckily, Rod, you're able to physically describe the locket well enough to Tax, who is a visual thinker, and she is able to draw something. And when she's done drawing it, much like, one of those crime scene people, she like draws it and she's like, well, I think it's a little off. It may be, a millimeter bigger on here, but it is exact size, exact shape, and you could probably recreate the locket based on those drawings. So It's very good.
All right. Well, it's an option. It's not necessarily something that's going to, with only 10 minutes, it would be if they have her hidden somewhere that maybe we can find out in the area. If there's a negotiation aspect or something.
Tax is now going to essentially go through 30 of her plans out loud with questions.
Oh, goodness.
What is the biggest flying animal that you could turn into? What would happen if it was larger and had long straighter? So if you were a large flying creature and we knew where your sister was, what do you think the approximate time it would take you to get there?
I don't think he can fly. I think he hasn't put enough time in as a druid yet to be able to fly.
Sandalphon's right.
What is the fastest creature that you could possibly become that if I made you large enough, you could perhaps go grab your sister while we make distraction for the others?
Who's coming with me to grab my sister to explain to her that this animal that just showed up is, in fact, her brother?
That's dead. Her dead brother.
Well, no, she knows. She's the only one that knows I'm not dead.
Well, your mom knows that too.
Yeah, my mom knows that, but
I mean, really,
Wait.
you might as well take
You're
a
not dead.
yeah.
So why do people think you're dead? And why does she know that you're not dead?
None of that's going to help us find her.
Okay, sure.
Who's
I'll ask a later date then.
coming with me to explain to her that the whatever shows up is actually a friend and really her brother, because I will not be able.
I will come with you. No one can resist my charms.
It's true.
Yeah.
You don't look terrifying at all.
So the DM would like to point out that after being a guest of the friendly forces of cold, that any animal that shows up that she might could ride the fuck up out of there she wouldn't give a shit if it was her brother or not.
Yeah. Also, I can give you a marble that just repeats, it's me, every 6 seconds.
Because that's even creepier.
It's me.
That's
me. It's me.
No.
So it looks like
Idget.
It looks like right now the speed to beat is the 50-foot elk.
50-foot tall elk. Got it.
No.
That
would be amazing.
An embiggened elf.
An embiggened elf with long strider. Somebody do that math.
Notice I said elf, not elf.
Well,
It's
Embiggen doesn't do anything for your speed, so it's just 50 plus 10, which is 60 usually.
Sometimes it's not, depending on what modular system you're using.
So, fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a thing, so I got all my spell slots back. If we could get, how fast could we escape? Is really.
I think if we just jump off the mountain, it'll be a lot quicker than trying to go down that.
I imagine there'll be pursuit, especially for Sandalphon.
Yeah.
But what
I'm
if-
worried about you getting anywhere near.
Which is why Tax is just like, of course, we're gonna leave her here.
We haven't passed identify on my snowflake, right?
I think you did a while back.
Yeah. And we just thought that it was like a tracking thing, or
Basically, whatever school of magic is a, magically identifying brand that can be tracked at distance.
Okay.
so yeah, it can be tracked at distance. So we can't really, not take me because they're gonna know right away. I don't want to risk.
Yeah. In
Hey,
fact,
you fit in my bag.
I don't think I could live inside your bag.
You guys live in it, but can you go into another dimension for like 10, 15 minutes?
I don't think you can put a living person in a bag holding, right?
sure you can. They won't last very long, but you can totally put them in there. There's no air.
Have to roll some sanity checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're in the void.
Yeah.
It's right. It's you, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's like the best sensory deprivation
So Beowulf
chamber
Schaefer
ever.
could handle it.
You can
I don't
hear
know
the
that you
sound
could.
of your heartbeat and the thoughts of your understanding that your existence is pointless.
But I mean, Sandalphon's been there before, right? Like that was part of her like growing up in a cage. Like you've been there.
Okay, growing up in a cage
Wow.
with nothing to do is a lot
Wow.
different than being in
Oh my
a
God.
sensory deprivation.
You've been abused before. Let's do it again.
Okay, I could breathe in the cage.
You like being in the cage,
I
right?
like your
It's fun
thinking,
in the
Tax, but
cage.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
It's safe in the cage.
But
They'll feed you eventually.
I don't
So-
want.
Honestly, the best thing to escape on, and I can't believe I didn't think about this, because the elk and all of these, the hyena also has a 50-foot movement speed, which would be fucking hilarious. But the best thing to escape on is not the fastest thing. It's a mountain goat,
Yes.
because then you don't have to you just go wherever you want on the mountain or the care.
Is there a CR limit for your shape change?
Yeah, it's 1/4, I believe.
1/4?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Well.
Yeah, it's limiting.
Yeah, you don't get to turn into badass creatures like right out the gate.
I've reached level
But-
3. I'm a dragon now.
But here's the thing about the entire escape plan is we are going up against a more powerful druid than me who can
Yeah.
turn into more awesome creatures that can fly
That's
and,
what I'm
you
worried
know,
about.
could just pick me off the mountain and drop me in the snow from very high up.
So, do we think this is a ritual that more powerful things are going to be called to? And is there a way that we might, I hate to say it because we're not that stealthy of a group, but is there a way that we might be able to go in and get her out prior to the ritual?
My guess is because they showed up and went away with tree stride, or like a tree teleporting spell, is that she's not going to show up until right before the designated meeting time, or maybe not even till they know I'm actually there. Yeah.
we also have the Yeti cave, which has been worked into 7 of my contingency plans.
Well, I would
And,
say the
wait. You guys gonna go like wander up to the top of the canyon, maybe take a look at what you're working with?
Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
my
think so.
plan.
I would recommend it.
Yeah. I think we should be ready for a fight if we go up there now, just because there might be one.
All right, if he's walking outside, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah, let's take a quick break here.
Final break.
Alright.
We got 1 hour left, folks.
All right. We'll be back in 5, 7.
Yeah, let's go for 7.
Cool. 7 minutes it is.
I was going for 4, but 7 works.
Alright, there are 3 bathrooms in this house.
All right. I'll be back
One
in
more
4.
than the other 2.
What?
So there are 3 bathrooms in this house. One is more public than the other 2. Allie, Don, and I can use ones that are slightly more.
Oh! You know what I could do instead of actually trying to do it my damn self is just ask Joe and do an intelligence check as tax to see if there's actually a plan that could work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm over here going, if I take these 3 spells and combine them with those spells and do this, I was just like, you just ask, as in character, because she knows.
Yeah.
Arts and crafts, bitches.
Oh! How do we want to do
Was that you or was that Shanna?
Both of us.
Nice.
We both worked on it.
Oh my.
What I just figured out.
Maybe
Well, when they come back, we're gonna have to do it.
grab the old map over
Yep,
there.
yep.
Let's put down the felt stuff underneath.
That won't help. Here,
It's foam.
It's wrong. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. It looks like wood.
It looks like wood.
It's amazing what you can do with some craft paints and some glue.
Has the lovely Shanna watched Making It?
Huh?
There's a show called Making It, hosted by Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman about crafters.
Yeah,
It's fucking amazing.
she kind of is. Should be on the show probably.
The
So,
winner of season 1 was from us.
so the trees are a little suboptimal because we couldn't get our regular tree stuff. So Sandalphon.
Yeah, come on.
How's no?
She wanted more time.
Okay.
You
I probably know what that is.
You are keenly aware that that is the Charlon altar upon which you awakened, surrounded by the monolithic obelisk rocks with ritual carvings in them.
And a bunch of dead bodies.
A bunch of dead bodies.
And one chip in it because tax was determined.
That's true. I should have chipped that other. You thinking back on it, you're still not sure how all these cultists wound up dead. I mean, you're capable of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you've definitely had blood on you. But there's a lot of cultists. And they were real, they weren't just dead. They were massacred. It was like the throat kill cult, almost. So, maybe that rage that you tap into is really working. Or not. Anyways.
And you have very powerful friends.
So.
Oh, Joe, this looks so cool.
So, what we have here, this is the summit. This is also where you originally looked out this way and had the vision, the experience with Grilla. Tree. There's trees everywhere. Where's the tree? Where the trees are. And so it's 5 feet, 1 inch. Go here, go here. These are each 4 inches wide. So you can go up and all the way to here in one turn, regular movement.
Okay.
You can also measure it. It's snowy, it's cold. There's rocks. Very proud of those rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Aluminum foil and plaster. And then, if you're wondering about the Yeti cave, you can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Yeti cave.
The rocks are really impressive.
You should
I
look
mean,
at
it's
these
all really
rocks. These have carvings on them that are really detailed. Incredibly, like Celtic knots and things. This is incredible. Oh my god.
Is there a way you could make it?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
for us to see?
Everybody's like, really? Oh,
We're
okay,
just gonna
cool.
talk about it with no.
All right.
I'm just like, oh, cool. There's rocks and trees in a Yeti cave, allegedly.
See if you can move your laptop.
So,
That actually looks really cool. It looks snowy.
like, you don't, yeah. Now, I did the snow, and oh boy, was that.
I bet it was a pain in the butt.
Well, I made the rocks, Shanna placed them, and that means she broke them and hot glued them all into place.
Oh,
And about
no.
every fifth rock, there was just a stream of profanity as she burned her fingers with the glue. Then I'm like, baby, are you okay? She's just fucking hot glue. It's okay. It's fine. I'm like, you know what? We got the construction. He goes, nope, using hot glue. Okay, baby, whatever you want to do.
Just need to get her some hot glue gloves.
That's really cool.
There's the Yeti cave.
Just 2 pair of the nitrite gloves or a wall. Those
Air-
double bag.
little air in between.
You know, I don't know that having a physical barrier and removing her from the experience would be kind of what she wants. She's very tactile.
Okay.
So, you are pretty confident
I am sick.
that this
And I'm on.
area up here,
Yeah. It's gross.
you are pretty confident that this area up here will be the focus of the of party time. When it's party time, if you guys are going to kind of make your way up here and investigate, you can tell even just walking up the mountain that there's nothing up here. Like you make the approach pretty easily. You're able to go up here and see this area. So, you know, there's.
What about an invisible billy goat? Sorry. I have an idea whenever
Okay.
you're ready.
Nothing special.
Oh, is this Croesus? Is this Croesus?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
That is
cool.
Croesus. That's a little
Do you
Croesus.
send him
It's a
Sandalphon?
microcroesus.
No, what?
Oh, got it. All right.
Microsis?
Microsis.
Have we bought Sandalphon?
I don't know if we bought it, but I
It
mean,
came out pretty good. So thank Joe for making that happen.
Make mine.
Yeah, I got my STL today.
This is all just the same character. He's your new character.
Just in different shapes.
Me and Joe are gonna make an embiggen version with giant antlers.
I love it.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be great.
No, I don't mean like the antlers that are on it. I'm like, are those the biggest antlers that I had? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, we can do better.
We can do better.
I mean, it's going to be like Monty Python. Okay, so.
So question with
It's just fun.
It's beautiful.
Travis's knowledge,
Uh-huh.
I would like to roll an intelligence check.
I would like to raid.
Four.
To see if there is a possible plan with everything that she knows about the party that will align with success.
I think you're going to need to talk to her,
Okay.
and that's going to require, like, intelligence is one thing. In your mind, you can think of at least 6 things that should work. You are also keenly aware that mathematics and reality, especially when magic is involved, do not always coincide. She has been given, with the augury that she did, she got kind of a mixed results, good and bad. About the only thing that you can think, you know you're outgunned. You know that these are beings that
there has to be a reason that they haven't just murdered you all and taken Sandalphon, because they could probably do it. So there has to be a reason. Now, that reason may be because they're cruel. It could be.
Sandalphon.
But what you do know is that
You're good.
probably the best you can do is fight your way up the hill, take Finra, and hope for the best.
And like run and hope for the best, or
Sandalphon, is there a potentiality that the reason that they've taken Rajaga's sister and want an exchange is because you have to willingly go?
I mean, possibly. I mean, the time that I didn't willingly go, I woke up here with a bunch of dead people around me.
I wonder if this doesn't worry me at all. I wonder if
Large awakened moose antlers.
all right. Are the moose antlers awakened, or was the
Yes. See, you don't know how far that awakening goes.
Yeah.
Oh,
He could be wearing those moose antlers, and then at some point they're like, "Hey, man, could you
Hey,
look
look.
left a little bit?"
I want them to have Taiki Watiti's voice.
Yes.
And I want them to be
Oh, I
awakened
can't do that.
and enlightened. So like,
Oh, right. So not just awakened. They're like,
My name's cool.
they're like,
Cool.
oh.
And then
the way you are treating that goblin is
I feel
culturally biased.
as though.
Right, all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to do?
So what you gonna? What are we asking?
If I don't get to break out on
Done
mini
with-
side, I'm gonna.
All right, so I'm gonna say we got less than an hour, so we gotta get this wiggle on the road. I'm wondering-
Charging.
What?
No, if your computer's
Now,
It's not. It's not plugged in.
maybe, just maybe, the reality is you don't have all the information.
Yeah.
You might not.
And maybe, just maybe, I'll give this to you for free. You are keenly, I use that word a lot, you are aware
Kinetti.
your deity has made it clear that not everything is as it seems.
Yep.
So what if it's not Arl that's after me? What if it's something else?
So I had a dream that there was a blue-skinned person.
With like white freckles?
She called herself,
Oh.
God damn it, I keep wanting to call her Siri, and it's not Siri, it's
Jester.
whatever the,
Alexa.
no, whatever the Cortana.
Oh yeah.
It's like a blue skin person. Cortana?
A blue-skinned human. Quite beautiful. With a large wooden chest at her feet.
Oh.
With gold and gems. Holding a dagger of ice. And then she's attacked by shadows and rogues and
Mages. She was attacked by mages over and over.
yeah.
In case I didn't make that clear.
History, Arcana, anything I can make to see if this sounds
I'll do a
familiar?
history. I got history.
You can do a history. You can do a history with advantage, Dalen.
All right.
And the reason why is because you know your master sent you here because there were other arcane
Yeah.
organizations nosing around this area.
So with advantage, that is a 20. Dirty 20? What's the...
Would you get a 23?
Nice.
And would you get dirty 20?
Yeah.
So, like I said, for you, the bar is lower. You don't have as much information, but you do know
Yeah.
that there's something in this area.
Yep.
You, it's been a long time since you've heard this said. You've never seen it written down. It's kind of one of those like folk tales that people tell of a time about 1,000 years ago when there was the city of Ephraim that flew.
Ooh.
That was a lot like Aor, if you want to get right down to it.
City of Etherin that flew.
Right? Ythrin. And according to legend, something happened known as I think it's Etherin. I may be mispronouncing it. Let me look real quick. Something happened, and that flying city crashed. Legend is it crashed somewhere in the northern frozen parts of the world.
Nice, nice. So around here, did they have anything to do with angels? What?
Do they have anything to do? Is that arcana or is that still history?
Religion?
Religion? Alright.
Yeah, Ythryn.
Angels, celestials, things like that.
Religion is not my bag, but I'll see what I can do.
I got
I got a
18.
16.
Um,
Anybody else better at it?
At religion?
I have a +6.
I got a +4.
so you don't. You know. You guys familiar with the Netherese?
Mm-hmm.
With the what?
The Netherese? And what they became?
No.
Etherin was their flying city.
Okay.
And to ask if it had anything to do with angels? No. Kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Galen knows what the Netherese are.
Yeah, they're
steeped
very
in their history, but he's not steeped in their history, but he knows.
But he's aware.
Not angels, no. No, not angels.
No, more like
anti-angels.
They were incredibly powerful wizards. They had a penchant for buggery and necromancy.
Oh, great. So, still could be looking for someone. I've had siblings, and the purpose of me being created was kind of to, create a weapon, and, I wasn't necessarily born, per se.
You've told me this, and I cannot wait to get a blood sample, but I know that I have to get it later, and then you have to trust me, and I understand.
It also depends on when you want my blood sample, when it's glowing or when it's not glowing.
I mean, clearly both would be ideal.
I figured.
And one from the left side and one from the right side.
I mean, clearly.
Also fair. I would be confused. I don't know how that would get. There were supposed to be 2 of me when they were great.
Not so much you,
Not that you're wrong.
but your organization has told you not a whole lot is known, but you are aware that the Netherese, the Netheril, were probably the most gifted and powerful arcanists that have lived within the last
It was a whole
2,000
society.
years.
It wasn't individual practitioners.
It wasn't just like the entire society was built around Arcana, and they had access to something they called the Netherese Scrolls, or the Nether Scrolls. And learning from those scrolls, they achieved incredible power. They had a flying city, which is not something anybody's figured out how to do since then.
Yes.
Giant.
What you do know is that if you could recover the fallen city of Etherin, or if you could make your way into the ruins of that city, the arcane knowledge and power would be beyond your imagination. And if you say, I don't know, kid, I can imagine quite a lot.
No, I understand what you're
Understand, it's
saying.
probably more than that.
Yes.
Rod, Yaga.
Hmm?
Any chance you and your sister have a secret language that only you can understand, if written?
No. There is a 100% chance she has a secret language that she would understand if written. Little preview for story time when I decide to tell it. Language is the family business, and I didn't want to be part of the family business.
Ah.
Yeah.
This is why Tax is asking, because she knows y'all were scribes.
I know. All languages?
So, hence why she was just like, any chance? Because her magical tinkering does allow a static visual effect, including up to 25 words of text.
That's cool.
So, if we're going to head up, we should probably head up soon so we can get back and have a defensible position. Has your sigil ever tingled?
I mean, it has. I don't think it's tingling now.
Okay. If it does, please.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Is it Yeti Cave cleared up?
Except for the one orphan. We left him because they wouldn't let me kill him. And he ran away.
Do we want to maybe stay here and then just be here when they show up? I mean, obviously, they know exactly where I am anytime, anywhere. So it's not like we can exactly hide.
Well, are you suggesting that we don't show up at the
time?
At the time?
No, I'm suggesting that we're already here.
See the Yeti Cave?
The Yeti Cave is like
we're
right
gonna
below
go
it.
Let's go to the Yeti Cave?
Yes, because I think that might be a place for us to hang
water,
out.
maybe, or,
You want a glass of water?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that'd
can
be
do that,
fantastic. Thank you.
You want sparkling water or just water?
No, just regular old water.
Sparkling water is no spicy water. That's
Mhm.
what one of the kids that I know calls for sparkling water is spicy water.
Alec calls it angry water.
Spicy water.
Ice or no ice?
No ice, please. Ice takes up valuable water space.
Ice is water.
It is, but you can't drink it.
Wow.
And I'm not
Eventually,
tasty.
you can.
Yeah, I
That's
just
what
said I'm not tasty.
Water expands as it freezes, so ice is less water.
Yes.
Those of us that grew up in
Thank you.
the subtropics.
Like
Yeah.
snow and ice still. I spent like a month and a half in Vermont, and I got to like experience one of their mildest winters. It still amuses me because like it's so weird for a Texan to like be surrounded by snow and like experience it and be like, it's soft and wet, but sometimes dry and wet. What is that?
So, shall we just fast forward to the good part?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah.
Let's get to the good part.
We're fast forwarding to us going up early and investigating the Yeti Cave. Again, I believe that is what.
Or do we still have time today to get there?
No, yeah. Wait, you mean you still have a whole day?
Yeah.
And technically, the day part of the day. You have the day until 7 p.m.
One day, one night, one day.
Before we leave here, let's just check out the Yeti Cave and make sure like there's nobody hiding in there.
You mean like put baby Yeti on a spike outside or something in the morning?
No, we let those baby Yeti go.
Oh!
No, well, I mean, you tried to poison.
I didn't try to poison it. Y'all made it run away before I could create my poison to try to feed it.
Yeah, you were going to poison.
This
Let's
is
not,
why I
let's
don't
not
use
mince
big
words, baby poisoner. You were trying to poison a baby Yeti.
It was a tactical, well thought out advantage.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's wrong or bad.
I painted that.
So, you guys want to check out the Yeti Cave?
Yes.
I'll give it to you for free. Nothing in there.
Awesome.
Right.
You just want to sleep here tonight.
How big is this cave? I mean, fits all of us comfortably?
Oh yeah.
If you look, I can take you there and
Take us there.
The tropics.
I can take you there.
You take me there.
Bam.
So did everybody just like think of a different song when he said "Take You There"? Because
I think so.
I went to like a prayer is where my mind went.
I went to Sean Kingston. Anybody?
Oh yeah. Your way to beautiful girl.
That one?
I don't know where I
Yeah,
went, but it was, I'll take you
I don't know if
there.
everybody's there or not, but that's the.
David Yeti?
I feel like we've been here before.
We have been here.
You have been there.
Oh,
I want to say that was one of the lyrics.
Maybe.
I'll take you there. That one?
that one,
Yeah.
thank you.
Which one? The Madonna song?
Nope. That's the one Jay was thinking of. I was thinking early 2000s hip hop. She's thinking, I'll take you there. Which
What
is,
I
kind
can't
of the phrase?
identify it.
Anywhere?
huh?
Anywhere? Is that what it was? What phrase was it?
Take
Where?
you there.
I'll take you there.
Take me
I'll
there.
take you there.
All I can
It's
think
a
of-
soul
hear that.
song.
Yeah, I mean, that's see?
I can
All I
open
think
my
of,
eyes.
when I hear that combination of words, all I think of is the Evanescence song "Anywhere."
All right, to the end.
This is a soul song. And it's like 70s. It might be a little bit funky.
What is it called?
It's the Staple Sisters.
Yep.
This is. So, how far from the top are we at the Yeti Cave? Hour, half hour?
If you're in the Yeti Cave, it's literally right around the corner.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, that's not far off.
Trees. Plenty of trees, right?
Several trees, yes.
So we assume they could approach here at any time from any of these trees. What if we get these trees down?
Well, then we can't get his sister back.
Maybe, or maybe Tree Report works on basically any plant.
Also, I know a person who can also do that, and there's a chance she might show up.
Oh, got it.
I think we have to agree that mine was the coolest.
Yes, this is what I thought of, yeah. I'll take you there. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Someone's beeping.
Oh, that's me.
I happen to know all of the songs that you mentioned, except for that one, the Evanescence one. I
Nice.
purposely avoided that.
Why?
Because at the time, I did not appreciate anything Evanescence had to offer.
See, this is pre-fallen Evanescence. This is from Origin or yeah, no, before that.
I need to be a better fan. All right.
Okay, so
It's like this.
do we think about burning all the trees? That would not work.
No, but maybe.
Or what if we left
No-
one
no music.
tree very specifically?
Oh, right. Can I have music?
What if
Get
we? What if we left one tree very specifically and?
I don't know if they
the
would
rest-
try to happen. I don't know if it would work. I don't know how this is going to work. So I'm kind of wondering, because with your embiggeness, pushing them off the side of a mountain be a good way to maybe distract them from wanting to attack
This
us
is a sheer
directly.
cliff, but I'm pretty sure it's not a sheer cliff.
Actually, how sheer can we find? Like, what's the furthest fall? Even if it's just eating up the equivalent of action economy.
But again, Tax will point out, however, if they are the druid, they could just fly.
Maybe.
As
Our druid
they-
can't fly.
Yes, but we know that they are more powerful because they have this stuff, and
If they have to use
Jace
it-
has this, and then this. and
If
my
they
play
have-
actually wrong.
But we just make them eat stuff up.
Yeah, we have. If we're eating up the resources, that's
Yeah.
potentially.
We rested since we got those temporary hit points from Braun.
Yeah.
So it's gone.
Oh,
Did
No,
we?
not yet,
Not
not
yet.
yet,
Okay.
but we will tonight,
Yeah.
essentially.
this is my Sandalphon
But we're going to the cave, but we've gone to the cave, we've checked out the cave.
Mhm.
and there's nothing there. So we can start looking around. We're looking for a sheer drop. We're looking for
I mean,
terrain.
Sandalphon can tell you on the other side of those those obelisk type monolithic big rocks with the carvings in them. It's sheer drop. It's not a long way. Remember, Kelvin's Cairn is basically a large pile of rocks.
Yeah.
That's
It's a Texas milk.
It's actually pretty decent, but yeah, you're right.
Have you seen the Texas volcano, the pallet knob?
So when you say it's not that far, are you talking about like 10 feet, 30 feet, 100 feet?
Are you talking about the entrance to the cave?
At least
Is that
60
talking about
feet.
off the edge of the cave?
Yeah.
If you fall off
We want to push something off. How far is it falling?
60-ish, right? 5,
Maybe
10,
60 feet.
15, 20,
So-
25.
50, 60 feet.
Croesus isn't going to count it, but he, if we were up there looking, he'd look over the edge and be like, "Oh, that's a painful drop, or a survivable drop, or that's like game over drop."
Depends on the thing falling.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's true.
Himself, because he's judging it based off of himself.
It's just probably maybe survivable.
Okay, so it's one of those things where it's like, if you had to find out, you'd hope for the best, but you'd never want to find out, sort of things. Okay, that's fine. That tells me that it's a significant. It's not 10 feet.
This is what one of Sandalphon's eyes looks like.
I mean, it might be heavily damaging to a medium-sized creature.
Cool. All right.
This is what one of Sandalphon's eyes looks like.
Oh, crazy.
Alrighty then. So we've explored the cave. We've explored the top.
Yeah.
What is next?
I want to go back to the idea that there's a reason
That
that we are having to do it this way.
My guess is that every time they've tried to take me by force, it hasn't worked.
And the deal here was they would bring his sister and we would bring you. But did anybody say you had to go with them? Now, this doesn't mean they won't just kill the sister of the rest of us, but there's something about you in it having to be willing.
Yes.
On the surface, anyway.
I mean, I don't know that. I kind of blacked out when that happened. I woke up, everyone around me was dead, and I was covered in blood. I don't know necessarily that I did that, but I also know that when I go into a rage and I get really angry, reality starts to tear apart around me. So
I've noticed, yes.
it's not necessarily unheard of. I mean, I also have a lot of very powerful friends.
So I want to describe a little bit more of what my goddess said to me in a dream.
Mm-hmm.
That woman, the blue human, beautiful
Okay.
blue human that I saw,
What time
she
is
was
it?
attacked by the magic users.
Denver.
And then
No, I mean game time.
Probably we're just talking with the day that we have left or something.
yeah, I mean
So
probably travel on the way there.
So I tell you what, you guys let me know when you're ready for 7 p.m.
All right, I want to hear this.
All right. She was attacked, and she was attacked by the magic users, and then she began to transform. Her nose became a beak, and her features flattened. She looked like an owl, but with ram's
This is Arl.
horns.
This is Arl's origin story.
And she's just all around the world looked at this. And she was so furious and sorrowful. And the owls trying to reach out to my goddess, claw her. But then shadow forms appeared, and there were talons, and bloods began to flow. And the bodies were cast away, and ice took over Icewind Dale.
Sounds like a bunch of mages made this place very bad.
Can I do an Arcana check on a spell or anything that could possibly do that kind of damage? Or that kind of transformation?
And the chest,
Transformation from
the wooden
a
chest
woman
was
to an
behind her,
owl?
encased in a block of ice. That may be important.
You could describe
You
the
can,
chest,
you can
pass
make
it
an
over to
Arcana check,
object.
sure.
Arcana and, I mean, my preference is
Yes.
history, but I feel like this is straight up Arcana.
It's kind of Arcana, history, and religion. Take your pick.
I'll do history if someone wants to do religion.
You might could do religion.
I can
Yeah.
do.
I'm a locker. I don't have a heart anymore.
I can
Uh-oh.
do religion.
I can do.
No. Do I have a heart? Tax, do I have a heart? Listen for it.
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Oh,
See, you
Siren, do
understand when you
you
would
share the details of your dream with everyone?
Yep,
Like everything you can recall?
everything I can recall.
Can I get advantage?
Can you? I don't know.
Not looking.
Can I get a table dance? Um,
What? I'll burn my inspiration because I have to use it today, yeah?
yeah, pretty much.
Let's do it.
Cook it off. Let's do it.
Anything but a one. I fucking rolled snake eye.
Ah. I've done that before. That's not great.
Impressive.
So Tax, you are highly confident that it was big bougie magic. You're like, yes,
Divine magic.
powerful magic. Yes, good magic. Yes. All right, what'd you get for Arcana? What'd you get for religion?
11.
11. You?
24.
You are pretty sure that this. Okay. Your deity isn't one for wasting your time.
Thank you.
You know that while your tribe is close to your deity, your deity doesn't necessarily like talk to everybody.
Yes.
And you know that so basically it's usually when it's something important or when because your deity has many forms, especially if it has to do with one of those four forms. You know that for something to affect not the weather, the climate, for something like an everlasting rhyme would require a level of magic unattainable by mortals.
In her description of the wizards attacking this blue creature, does the description of their robes remind me of descriptions of netherese?
It reminds you of the most generic description of a wizard possible.
Okay.
Mainly as an archetype to tell the story.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. That's exactly the question I was asking.
The chest.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's
as much
here.
detail as I say.
The chest, again, dreams are symbolic.
Yeah.
Both this, in a very Jungian sense,
Yeah.
the chest is representative of something, a great treasure,
Yeah.
worth a great deal, not necessarily physical wealth.
Mhm.
A treasure can be a person,
No.
it can be an emotion, it can be power, it can be love, it can be hate.
So all is a god, right?
Oh, yes.
And I'm not the greatest at history because I grew up in a cage and wasn't really supposed to know things for a good portion of my life. But gods are celestials?
No.
No, different thing. What are celestials?
Celestials emanate from the upper planets.
Got it.
Celestials tend to be good.
Got it.
So you have
Sorry.
celestials, and the opposite of celestials is fiends that are abyssal. And then you have lawful evil, which is devils. And you want to know what separates devils from demons?
Law.
Contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then solars are a type of celestial.
They are.
Because I'm celestial-ish.
So
You are. You're a couple things.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a couple things.
Literally.
A couple things. Literally. A couple
our
things.
role,
You, as far as you know,
Uh-huh.
you are unique.
Oh, yeah.
just like everybody else.
Like everybody.
Not like the rest of the girls. Or the rest of the people.
My siblings are celestial-ish. I am probably also celestial-ish, but I'm also, one of the only people who split.
So your goddess is giving you information of what caused Aural's switch and where this treasure is hidden. Maybe if we can recover what this is and restore rather than destroy, maybe we can undo the damage that was done. But how does that help us here?
Or maybe they're looking for something in Sandalphon to either keep
Her the way she is?
the way she is, or transform.
So while we are before we run out of time tonight, while
So
we are,
Sandalphon is a key?
uh,
And Sandalphon is the key to the only lock that they need to open?
if they needed something,
Because if I were to build something that was so magically powerful, I would want a very powerful lock, and I would have to create a very special key for it.
but we assume her creators,
Their creators.
their creators, is not affiliated with this. So is it a happenstance?
I mean,
Or
I
you just-
know that one of my siblings, at least, or two of my siblings, who are twins, were created by with kind of a deal with a solar creature that lives in Pandemonium. And that's when both of them were created, and I know a number of people from that cult made a deal for magic with that solar creature
And, okay.
to get magic and stuff. Are you giving me something specific, or
He's just standing up.
just
No, you're doing fine. That is your reality as you understand it.
So the question is, what and why do they want you, and what can we do to leverage that?
I have also gotten dreams, and one of them was somebody's telling me. Oh, this was from after we encountered the guy who tried to kill me when we were at the market. I've got a number of dreams. The first one was somebody that looks a lot like Arl pressing a talon to my scar, my thing, my brand, saying that I belong to them and that no one ever escapes and that they'll send the druids after me. Another one was right after we killed the guy who tried to, kill me in the marketplace, and he said that he'll be reborn into something else. And,
He'll be?
Yep.
She will be.
She will be.
It was the body of Sephic possessed
Oh, that's right. That's right.
by
Okay.
the spirit of the slain frost druid Vernus.
Yes. And so while she was
Handy fact, Vernus is the sister of Ravison, whom was running around with the sister.
which
Yeah.
they're also
Kind of a
twins.
family affair.
Yeah, they're twin sisters. And I think I was supposed to be a twin. Pretty much everybody else is twins when you do that sort of. I was the second second successful attempt in creating something. The first successful attempt were my twin siblings, Remion and Taraman.
Does he still? Yeah. That's him. Yeah.
So
Oh, I'm gonna flip this. Terramond. Is it heads or
Oh.
they just need your body.
As
I don't want to give them their body because the body comes with the brain.
I actually know a person who went from one body to a different body.
But I don't know if we want to talk about this right now,
Yeah.
but I'm wondering if they need a vessel and you, in your constructive build,
Mhm.
something that would work.
That's possibly the case. I am a created being opposed to a born being. Maybe it's not unheard of the people I am related to being taken for other purposes. We were created for a purpose.
Who created you?
A cult near this.
And what are your memories before waking up on this hill? Where had you gone and why?
So I grew up in before, like, all of my life before this, or why
I think all of it. I'm just trying to figure out how you got to here.
So my siblings are kind of famous adventurers and heroes, and I kind of wanted to make a name for myself, so I kind of came here in the attempt of killing a god and making a name for I'm not telling you it was the wisest decision, but
So
yeah.
you came here with the intent to kill Arl?
Or save the world, mainly, from everlasting winter. I was kind of very angry and wanting to make a name for myself.
How long did you live here before you woke up on the...
How long did I live here before I woke up on the place?
You haven't been here that long.
Not long. A week or so, maybe 2 weeks. I also lost a lot of time.
So you came here, and within 2 weeks, they identified a need of you. Do you think you joined up with anybody here? Do you remember... What do you remember before waking up?
There's a hole in your memory. It goes childhood, cage, awfulness, some period of time that was less awful.
Yeah, and that period of time is kind of ambiguous because I was also in the Feywild for a while, and time is
right. So it could be.
So I'm really more worried about.
I know.
And so
Patience.
then you decide to strike out on your own.
Uh-huh.
You've heard that Icewind Dale was maybe artificially icy.
Mm-hmm.
Thought that maybe with a great deal of hubris that you could make a difference on your own. So you struck out, and you were rendered unconscious. You're not really sure how. You don't remember. There's a hole between you arriving in Icewind Dale. You were here for a while, a month, maybe 2, and then there's a hole, and you regain consciousness on the Charladon altar.
And even then, I regain consciousness, and then it's like it's fuzzy, and then I remember
very fuzzy
getting to the place where I met all of you and napping for a good chunk of that, and then I woke up and I've been clear-headed since.
Yeah, you were somewhat delirious.
But you don't remember traveling with anybody or working with anybody once you got here?
Nope.
Okay.
And I mean, I wandered from the top of this mountain to where I met all of you, not fully conscious.
Kristen. Yes. Can you disguise yourself and disguise others?
Can I what?
Can you disguise yourself and disguise others?
I can disguise myself very well. I can disguise others somewhat less well.
Do you think you could disguise yourself to look like someone in our party?
I think so.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I could do the same.
But again, pretty obvious which one of us is going to be it.
Well,
We could do.
I mean, there's a possibility it's not necessarily being, but it's
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
If it's area,
Or, and when we get here, maybe dispel it.
Yeah. Right then, show up. You cast a spell and we don't know which one it is.
Tax will look at all of you and go, have y'all ever played 3-card ante?
I like this plan and that they wouldn't know necessarily who to go to, but we would still be fighting beings much greater than us.
Oh, this is just purely for distraction because once we get Rod, what's your sister's name?
Fenra.
Once we get Fenra, an expeditious retreat is the plan. Tax is trying to think of like a distraction for which we can extract the hostage and then get out. And if we can get out without them being able to track Sandalphon, that's even better.
I just don't think we can move fast enough. Now, Sandalphon going in 3 different directions might help.
They show up 7 p.m. on this date, well, next date. How close, Rod, they can track me and probably know they probably already know I'm here. If we dispel it tonight, do you think that is too much of a risk on your sister's life?
If we dispel what?
The tracker on me.
Do
The
we know
magical
we
tracker.
can do that?
We don't, but it would be, you would have one more spell slot tomorrow if we tried tonight rather than tomorrow.
I'm going to go ahead and set up a ritual and start planning to cast Identify on the snowflake again. Because I don't remember what we found before. There was just a detect magic. Actually, I want to cast it on her. And if you cast Identify on a person, it will let you know if there's any kind of, is it Gaish? Is that how you pronounce it?
Gaish.
Yeah, but any kind of enchantment on her, anything other than that, just to see if there's any more information. No? Okay.
Might
So,
get different answers depending on which side you touch.
the Snowflake brand, I don't remember what class of magic it is. You do know that it is a very strong magic cast by either a very high level spellcaster or some form of deity.
And so I don't even know if I could dispel it if I tried.
You probably
got it. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Not with like dispel magic.
Yeah.
It would. You're pretty confident that it would require like a ritual.
Yeah, quest level ritual kind of magic. I got you.
Yeah. There would be a MacGuffin involved.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
Just
probably.
cut it off her chest.
It's my heart. Someone has tried and it did not go well for them.
That's right. I'm still wanting to bet that they need you to go willingly.
That's my guess, considering that when they didn't, something
So-
really bad happened.
The issue I run into here is, what are they willing to do to the rest of us to make you go willing?
I mean, you have to figure for someone to go willingly, assuming that's part of the requirement.
Yeah.
That's not like just an intellectual level of acquiescence. There is actually a component of will that says, I will definitely do this, even if it requires sacrifice, even if it requires... In other words, it's not like she just goes, yeah, sure, I'll do it. It would have to be something that she actually believes and accepts.
And then there's the other thing of consent, with it having like a threat behind it isn't actually consent at that point.
Which would be probably very hard to get if, say, everyone that she knew in this area were murdered before.
Yeah.
And again, keep in mind, there's at least 1 or 2 beings in this that are powerful enough that if they
simply wanted her dead,
Yeah.
or them wanted them dead, they would have been dead on an altar months ago.
I agree.
They need something from me. We don't know what it is.
What do they always tell you when they come after you? Because they've come after you multiple times, including the lady across the way where they gave a thing and then did the thing and then you fell.
Yes. They say that Arl has marked me and that I am needed and that no one escapes.
And don't they always try to kind of ask you? Like they said that your friends would die last time if you didn't do it. So it's like they need your permission.
It is a lot like they need my permission. But it doesn't seem like they need for other people, so my guess is maybe it's something special with me. I don't know. Maybe,
I mean, maybe you should hear the spiel. I don't know.
yeah, we might just,
Maybe you should hear the pitch.
You have to just stay at the condo.
yes. So I guess our plan is right
Go
now,
in there. We thought it was a free vacation.
Yeah.
Like, well, you could get a trip to Hawaii, or you could get what's in this box.
Yeah.
Like, that looks like a dog turd box. And you're like, that's what it
We
looks
all
like.
have a mind call problem is you change your mind after the second showing.
It's true.
That's right. I'll take what's behind door number 2. Womp, womp, womp.
All right.
I say our current plan is run once we get her, but I don't,
So we're at the end of day 15, right? Or the 15th, right?
Yes, we're at the end of 15. We have not entered 16 yet. It is about to be 7 p.m. Joe, you said we needed to tell you.
11 p.m. Oh, got it.
7 p.m. In other words, the rising, the last day of the rising, the last day of the full moon of Selene.
We have 2 more days of the full moon.
This is the 15th still, right?
Yep. The full moon ends on the 17th.
Correct. The 17th is the last day of full moon.
Yep, and we're on the 15th. So we're at 7 p.m. on the 15th. Is there anything that we need to know, or did you just know we made it to that point? And I say we just, if this cave is big enough, we just stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's one frozen cave for essentially another frozen cave?
Yeah, I mean, there may be a little bit more privacy at the other one, but this one we're closer.
We know when
Yeah.
people show up.
But that is the regroup point if we have to run and split up.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's the really good point. I mean, yeah. They're gonna know where I am.
Yes. Our spells of obfuscation, but I just don't know that anything I can do.
It's
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
essentially has touched me and said, I want to know where you are all the time. And I have friends who kind of do what you do and keep an eye on me a little bit every so often. I don't want to necessarily hide from them either.
Well, if we have to, we can reach out to your friends. We can reach out to my master. I really wanted to put the spell into my book, but I'm happy to break glass and use this if we need to.
I say that's last resort. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I do have that scroll of sending that is
You do?
that is to be used for something else, but I'm okay to use it in case of emergency.
I make sure Dalen is as familiar with Nox as possible before this. And so that if worst comes to worst and you can just do that as a thing to call.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how long teleportation takes to cast, but.
Well, and if you have like any kind of token of theirs or whatnot, it helps.
I probably. I have. Okay, this one's. I mean, I also have a lot of stuff from my sister.
Yeah,
She can't necessarily. She can do tree. She can cast tree stride.
Any of those
Yeah.
things, if I have someone in an association, will help casting the spell.
I probably have something from Nox, right, Joe?
You? No.
No, not something from Nox. I mean, I'm like, okay.
Your sister?
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Here's the
a really good
I
description
mean,
helps.
you yourself
Mhm.
have, if you've never like hung out with
Mhm.
Knox, you've heard a lot of stories.
Yeah.
You have met him,
Mhm.
but it was a long time ago, and it was very much in passing because he was there to see Remy out or
Ooh.
something.
I was actually thinking scrying. Can I cast a sending spell to someone that I've never met? It says familiar with.
Yeah, that's the trick, isn't it? I mean, what defines familiarity?
Yeah.
If you go by the Matt Mercer method, apparently it's just being told who they are.
Well, yeah.
Which
I was
I personally think that's a little much. I think to be able to send, otherwise, you just spam the shit out of people.
I
With
think,
sending,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
What does
You
it take
just-
to really know somebody? Like, how
Right.
do you get familiar with somebody?
It's unsolicited commercial sending. You know, but I mean, it does say be familiar with them, and familiarity can include just knowing who they are. I guess.
If you think of Wheel of Time, it's the method of traveling where you haven't had to see it before, as opposed to the method of traveling where you have had to see it before.
Blind or
Yeah.
I'll let you I can probably get you more familiar with Remy.
Okay.
Tell stories, draw pictures. She uses this accent, but her true accent's actually something more like me, but she always talks in the other one. Grew up in the Feywild, vegetarian. Red fiery hair.
There we go.
All right.
Uh-oh. You good? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm keeping an eye on the time, and Joe, I packed you some dessert and some lasagna to go. But is it possible to get some like ceramic?
Yeah. We only use
So you
natural
guys want to hear the
ceramic.
spiel?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe we've wandered into, and I apologize for allowing this to happen. We've wandered into what I call the J effect, where you've been given a puzzle that seems insurmountable, and so we spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to do that. When you absolutely understand that your DM is not going to put you in a situation where you're just going to get straight up murdered for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, we think there's going to be a reason. I think.
We still know it.
There
Yeah.
will absolutely be a reason. If you do some stupid shit, you will get murdered.
Great. Love that.
But
Love that for me.
I mean, I'm just saying that
Yeah.
you have an opponent that you can't just brute force
Yeah.
your way through. You can't murder hobo your way through this one. So you should probably listen to the spiel. Maybe there's a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not so bad. I mean, from what Jay's mother, from what Brajaga's mother said, they just said, bring her to the mountain and we'll give you the sister back.
Maybe they just want to talk.
They didn't say they were going to take off with her. I mean, they probably will, but you know.
Maybe it's that part where it makes us a little jumpy.
I get it.
Maybe it's that one. Please keep as much as you want.
Alright.
I am leaving town next week. And I'm going to Albuquerque. Yep, something like that. My fam lives there, and they haven't seen us since before my grandma died, and my mom's been wanting to go on vacation, so. Yeah. So we're gonna. Perfect, it's just for Joe's little. Perfect, or whatever. Perfect.
Okay, let me go get my fucking meat out of the car.
Yep, I think we'll do it.
Are we playing without Lisa?
Is she leaving at 11?
Yeah.
She's on her stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we just do this deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we have time to plan?
They finished my lesson.
Oh.
I promised to do it today. And see, they can only be impressed that it was done.
Cream cheese, sugar-free Jello. Sugar-free Jello.
Yeah.
And then sugar-free Jello pudding with some.
Well, I love the it was really nice. Creamy, flowing it all.
So I know a lot of this movement because somehow or another the beers I have they belong to a different mixer. So I can only have one in a.
If we can, I hope that we do this deal tonight, so that we have a week planned before the next.
Yeah. I am not available next
Well, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Because I've been informed that if I skip out on family time to play D&D,
No, you're good.
I'll get shanked.
Yeah.
I might get shanked. I don't know that shanking is something I want to investigate.
I have to go
That's
to the ladies'
cool.
room and then I'll be back to go to
Right.
Spiel, but then I've got to go, which is why I was already packing.
All right.
You're so
I
good.
painted
Okay.
those 2 paintings in there. I painted them.
Do it, huh?
I painted those 2 big paintings in there of the lemon and the pencil.
I think we've seen them.
Sometimes during D&D.
I have not seen them in person.
Yeah.
And as a person who appreciates going to art museums to see a
It's different.
physical thing, that is not it.
No, those are
That
my
is super cool, though.
Mariah's artwork.
Which is super cool.
That's my cat. And so,
I did that.
As much as I really, really liked the Discovery phasers, I really liked the Strange New World phaser as well.
Sorry, I do late tech.
I don't know that they need to keep redoing all the pouches every show,
access.
but it looks more like, so like Discovery's phasers look like the ones from the original Cage.
Yeah.
This looks more like Kirk's Enterprise phaser, so it is a natural evolution.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I love it.
Did you show Robert the phaser?
My phaser?
Yeah, he's not here.
You have a phaser?
I have a couple, but this is a new one.
You can see the brush strokes in the oil.
Where's the camera?
Ah, nice.
So I bought it fairly inexpensively off eBay because it didn't work.
Yep.
And so one night sitting here, I took it all apart and was like, taking the tester out to go see what was wrong. And I couldn't find anything wrong. When I put it back together, I was telling Laura about it. And I said, yeah, when you pull this trigger right here,
Yeah.
it pushes the thing up here, which activates. Oh my God, it works! And so something was
That's
wrong.
funny.
Taking it apart and putting it back together fixed it.
And there's another one behind it.
So I've been re-watching a lot of Next Generation, and
Yeah.
they have some phasers in the show that just look like presentation laser pointers. Like they're itty bitty, they're like this big, and
Yeah.
they look like they'd be just like an Apple TV remote.
Yeah.
It's a phaser, and you're just like, okay. And then they actually have actual hand phasers that look like phasers.
So, Robert, did you know that in the original show, this phaser
What were you thinking about?
is really just
Oh, that was
a battery
one that I painted
for this phaser?
and then made it big. All these are.
No, that's
So,
interesting.
just a bigger battery and finer controls
Sure.
for the
Yeah,
phaser one.
That's basically what they have in the Next Generation.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one I
But I love that the idea was
this
this is just a more finite or more control and
Yeah,
more power.
Love.
Are you gonna put it to
The
overload?
light.
that's cool. I do like that.
Darkness. The light is breaking through.
That's very entertaining.
Yeah. That's very, but I just love that concept. The guys who designed those original in the
That one, no.
60s
That was my favorite. 'Cause it started
had that
with-
figured out, that that's how they wanted that to work.
Like I didn't do other ones.
Right?
So
All right, Spiel.
Okay,
We
Spiel.
gotta
Spiel.
kick people on the road.
Okay,
So
so
2 nights later?
Take them in the road.
So, as the day of the 17th proceeds, despite the fact that the weather weasel does not predict it, approximately 3 hours around 4 p.m., the clouds go dark, the wind, and a full white out blizzard slams into Kelvin's care.
Now, hopefully this uses up some of their spell slots.
And then about 10 minutes before 7, as though someone flipped a switch, the blizzard stops.
What's that?
Looking out from inside the cave, you see something you haven't seen in a very long time in Iceland Dale. Crystal clear skies. Saloon begins to rise against the horizon. You see the stars, you see the moon, and you see the green-white aura of the everlasting rhyme stretch across the sky.
Oh, that's pretty.
And you feel the pressure of that talon
It's tingling.
against your brands. Are you still in the cave?
I think maybe we walk out now.
Yeah, cast a mage armor. Walk out. I extinguish the light on the staff and we walk out.
Let's go.
Is it sunny? Is it actually like
No, it's nighttime.
okay? I was
Well,
like,
technically-
us.
Dusk on a full moon.
Yeah.
Are we planning to walk out in disguises?
I think
No.
No.
the decision was balls to the wall.
All right, I'm casting.
Just
Oh, okay.
Baroque style.
Oops.
I'm casting bless on you.
Got this? Think you can test
That's
them.
for saving throws or ability checks.
And sanctuary.
Nice. So don't attack anybody.
So, Joe, we just kind of skipped the 16th entirely.
Kind of, unless there's something you wanted to do.
No, but if we skipped it entirely, then I assume I cast no spells, so I have 60 good berries on the 17th.
That sounds pretty good.
Perfect.
All right. Check out the.
And I'll check off 8 for feeding us.
Take the
And-
heart here.
So I'll have 52. Also, we're going to, I will give everybody 7 temp hit points on the 17th and then take a short rest.
Nice.
So I get that power back.
I cast
These owls, been the bane of my existence.
Are you saying that they shouldn't send you more?
Oh god.
Sorry, I didn't bring glue with me. Technically, she's holding another owl right here.
Those are not us. Those are a lot of people who are not us.
I have glue.
We'll deal with that in a
Okay.
minute. So you emerge from the cave and you look up toward the summit.
Was that skull there before? Oh, sorry.
Huh?
Was that skull on top of that rock before?
That one? That one?
That one, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just didn't see it.
And you see, standing near the Charladon altar, a frost giant. You tingle.
My pee tingles.
It does.
Oh man.
The piece. It flinches in front of me and I'm like, oh Jesus.
You have a genetic memory where you almost want to bend the knee to her. She has an air of royalty. She is surrounded by large snowy owls.
Maybe cultural tingling, not
Yeah, cultural. Yeah, cultural.
not actual pressure.
Yeah, well, you know, you could be.
Just ready to
Anyways, so there are a few other people. Bradyaga, you see upon the altar, kind of sitting there, cross-legged, a girl that looks remarkably like your sister, but she's dressed very differently. and her hair is white. And she's kind of whistling a little tuneless tune. They notice you approach, silence falls, the cultists kind of quiet down. And with a clear voice, she says, I am Princess Gryla, Herald of the Frost Maiden. I see you have brought what we required. And she looks at you, Brajaga, and with a little smile, she says, you can have her back if she wants to go. She turns and looks at the rest of you and says, looks right at you, Sandalphon, and she says, will you come with us?
The deal was you'd have it back if I just showed up here, correct?
Well, that's what got you here, dear. Perhaps you should know why. You bear the mark of our queen. Do you know why?
I don't think I fully know why.
I'll bet you think you woke up on this altar having killed those cultists. She shakes her head and smiles. That was me. They were going to sacrifice you like an animal. In Aural's name, she has a much greater purpose for you. And she looks at you, Dalen, and she points at him and then looks back at you and says, his kind. Him. They come here seeking that which they must never possess, enter, or know about. Anyone wish to say anything?
I have some questions.
Oh my god!
And you could, this is a huge frost giant, literally just identified herself as a princess. She just, oh, of course you know.
What is Oral's greater purpose for Sandalphon?
Arl.
I've heard about this.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Hold on. I did the bad thing of
Fucking everything up.
I'm at a -1. Can someone give me that's a 16 and that's a 18. I'll take that. This is
I love this dice. There's a reason I roll that dice a lot.
Maybe if you understand, you'll think differently.
I have been known to change my mind.
Look quiet right now.
Child. That one. It's not really just one. They are unique. There is something here sealed by the codicil in white. But it is temporary. Aural, with her, can make that seal permanent.
to prevent the end of this world.
Does that include death?
I mean, the end of the world presumably includes quite a bit of death. Yes.
No, I mean Oral and Sandalphon's conjunction. Would that cause the end of Sandalphon as we know her presently?
Are you a lawyer?
No, but my father is very litigious.
I can tell.
I ask permission to address.
You can wear whatever you like, Tom.
Your Highness.
I do not know. My queen has not deemed that important for me to know. Only that she must choose.
The suits. What can you tell us more of the codicil in white? All I know is there is a key to unlock the greatest wonder in the last 200 years.
More like 2,000. You, your kind, are Cainists. You've already allied yourself with those here to plunder.
I don't think she likes you.
I don't think she likes many like me, but I don't know that she knows me.
Twice now you have encountered and made the choice to align yourselves with those already here seeking entrance to that which they must never have.
When you say aligned, do you mean not directly opposed?
Who's the lawyer now?
I just want to understand what they mean.
Yeah, who are we meant to have allied ourselves with?
I believe you agreed to a task by one in Bremen and one in Caer-Dineval. Did you not?
I remember the Bremen one. That was...
Avarice, I believe her name was.
That is not an alliance. That is a business transaction. We were hired to do a job. They're not our friends. You could hire us to do a job. Probably pay better.
That.
Half up front.
I'm
What
sorry.
would half of your life be?
At this particular moment,
Don't answer that.
What, half of my life? I don't know. So far, I guess that's about 13 years.
I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You were sent to ask if I wanted to join you, but you don't know if I'm going to die if I join you.
It's not my concern. My queen commands it, and I obey.
Yes, but you're trying to get me to come willingly with you, yet you don't have the information to let me know. That might be a good, like a factor in my decision making.
What you're saying is your marketing is shit.
Okay. Let's try not to directly insult these people.
I'm
So
not.
where would she go?
Insulting
can
their
I come
marketing.
with her?
She would go to Oral's abode. At least where she visits when she brings herself to this plane.
If I choose to go now, can I choose to leave at any point, or is this a forever choice?
I do not know.
Okay. Okay.
I am just the messenger.
Messages have been received. Rajaga, do you wish to address your sister at this point?
Has my sister given any recognition that, or any sign that she recognizes me?
Oh, absolutely. She knows exactly who you are.
I attempt to walk up to her, see if that's going to be allowed.
Okay. I mean, you make your way and huge, icy, giant god spear range of the frost giant there. But yeah, you make it to the idol, to the altar.
Yeah, that's fine.
She's sitting there, legs crossed, kind of lean forward, dressed a little oddly, considering the temperature. She's literally wearing what amounts to a halter top and a vest.
Interesting. What's
And
with
her
the hair,
hair.
sis?
I guess it took the mother we shared to get you to come out from hiding.
It was you that got me to come out from hiding. You know that.
Fair enough. This is a gift. And you notice, for the first time, your sister is armed with a pair of swords.
Interesting.
She's never been one for the martial arts.
Right. Yeah.
Checks out.
And
from whom?
And very oddly enough, now that you're up here, now that you're all kind of maybe somewhat used to the presence of Gorilla, you notice this one.
Yeah, going with the head. I know, what is she holding?
It's a lantern.
Oh, lamplighter, cool.
She's you, I know, saw the visage of Vernus when her spirit was released from Sefik. If you didn't know better, you would think that was her physical body. From the grave, slightly decayed, kind of moving a little twitchily.
Why didn't you just make your pitch before about saving the world if I come with you instead of trying to kill my friends?
It's so hard to get good help these days. She glances over at the
decaying Vernus.
The decaying Vernus. Makes kind of a unpleasant look. Here we. She looks at you for a moment. Do you have counterspell?
I do.
She begins to cast a spell. Make a roll.
Hey, let's see what happens.
Why it's like things might not be as they seem.
Yeah.
15 plus. Let me look at my character sheet. What do I add? Do I add anything on counterspell, or is it just a natural roll?
Look at your spell.
I think it's an intelligence check.
Yeah. Oh.
But it might say it on counterspell when you open it up.
Probably +3 at least.
Yeah.
And you
Oh, you rolled a 15?
Yeah, I rolled a 15 now.
Then unless it's a 9th level spell, it should be counterspelled.
Yeah.
Right.
And I say, we can discuss.
And then she looks at you.
Yeah.
She goes,
I know. I have pledged.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
I have promised to protect, and I don't know what you were doing.
He has made an oath to me that he will keep me from harm, and you did not ask to cast a spell on me before.
Child, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead at my feet.
I'm not worried about necessarily dead or alive. Protect, and I don't know what you were doing.
Trust me, there are fates worse than death. I've lived some of them.
It's not a spell that you would recognize, but one given to me by my queen to determine if she's done yet.
Do you mean done? And can we stop using the pronoun she? You've used up your uses in this thing.
I would like to make an insight check on what we've heard.
Make an inside check.
I don't believe any of those dice.
Oh, that's an 18.
She's definitely not telling you everything.
I want a specific insight check on whether she was the person who killed the cultists.
Go ahead. Do it with double advantage.
Double nice.
Add 22 if the answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes.
The answer is, now that you think about it, you think back at that moment when you first woke up, you realize you were splattered with blood.
Yeah.
But you weren't soaked in it. You weren't up to your elbows in it.
Well, I don't think I did. I was wondering if maybe somebody else besides her could have.
You're pretty, I mean, it could have been her. She doesn't seem like she's lying.
Yeah.
And it was either by her hand directly or at someone's direction, or at her direction.
Okay. So it's not like.
And ultimately at the direction from Aurel.
I have no indication to think that Remiel showed up or somebody else showed up.
No.
Okay.
Nothing at all like that.
Cool.
So, what do you, if the proposition is to save the world, how do we align ourselves to that? And what world are we saving? Aurel's world? The entire world?
Disney World.
Pax has taken out rope and is like creating elaborate knots, like 100% going to tie herself to you. And she's just waiting.
No, you stay there.
She's like,
What?
I'm here.
Yeah. How do we align
So-
ourselves? Yeah.
You never answered my question. Can we come with her? Come with them.
She smiles. She looks at you. She goes, oh, I like you. Absolutely.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
Encouraging.
Did,
As said before, your marketing strategy is not great.
I mean,
I've been told my
Frost
tone.
Giant Royalty is not really concerned with marketing. They're
Yeah.
usually just, it's
They-
kind of
they're not-
obedience.
They're not used to being told.
Yeah. It's more along the lines of they, so let it be written, so let it be done.
Did Finra ever answer my question about who gave her the gift?
I think she said her lady.
You did you asked your sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it was a gift, and I said from whom, and then we went off elsewhere for a bit. So
Sorry, she looks directly at Gryla and says, Princess Gryla.
so you're with this lot now.
I'm with something greater, yes.
This is
Unlike
what
you,
you-
decided to run away into the woods and hide. I've decided to do something with myself. I was given the opportunity and I took it. I believe you of all people should understand that.
Of your own free will, I asked while rolling an insight check and critting it.
Oh, nice.
Yes, of my own free will. And
Do I believe her?
you absolutely believe her.
Well,
And with a crit on an insight check, you think maybe the fact that your mother was returned to you
Poison.
Might have been because she convinced them not to just kill her outright. Now, of course, there was an underling that brought her back that maybe had other ideas, but at least in terms of her doing something to the mother you share, certainly.
Well,
A kindness, maybe? Or maybe the only person that she thinks will understand her?
I think you're being an idiot, Fenra, but you can be your own idiot, and I'll go be my own idiot, and I hope we don't end up on opposing sides of this thing.
Well, that depends on her, doesn't it? She looks over.
Again, I used all pronouns. You don't have to just use one.
I mean, you keep on saying she is
Glyla
of
kind of
two, so
leans
they're
down.
of them.
She gets down on one knee and she goes like, "Look, sorry about the pronouns thing. Like, Rostrance, kind of old school. I mean,
Beard. Literally have a beard.
I mean, I get it, you know, but dwarven females have beards.
This is
so,
true.
You know, yeah. She goes, I could probably grow a beard if I wanted to. She goes, I could probably be a great bearded jackass if I wanted to. In fact, I most certainly could. But I do apologize.
Thank you.
They,
He also works.
they, he, it,
Don't really like
they,
that one as much, but yeah.
them, they. So,
Also, proper nouns work real well. I refer to Sandalphon as Sandalphon.
There's proper, there's the proper noun, and then there's the pronoun, and then there's the what's the word?
right, so then she just looks at you
Yeah.
and she says, I need to do a little test. It was the spell that your arcanist stopped. I could force it through, but I would rather not. I promise you no harm will come to you from it. It will do no damage. It will cause no pain.
It will not influence my mind in any way.
No,
Will it hurt anyone else?
no.
Will it? Okay.
Think of it like a gauge.
You said it was to tell if I was done yet.
Yes.
What were you referring to with done?
Your maturity.
If they are done, what happens?
Well, if they are done, then there's really no room for conversation.
Who should go?
And we will take her. And we will destroy anyone that tries to stop us. And then she can talk with Aurel herself. And then maybe she can, then maybe they can make up their mind for themselves.
Can you take them against their will? Will you take them against their will?
She just looks at you as though the concept
of not being able.
of being unable to do whatever she wants to do is just, that's not
That's why I shifted the question.
right. Yeah, that is an alien concept to her. If she decides to do something, she fully believes she can do it.
So Tax whips out the notebook, angles it up, because no other way.
Right.
So, according to everything you have said and we have garnered, if you conduct this spell, which I will want notes on if that's quite okay, There will be no pain, no damage, and it will tell you essentially if whatever is needed to bond Sandalphon with Oral is ready, for which has to happen in order to seal this thing that has been cracked open after 2,000 years and thus save this world. This world, not all worlds,
You
but this one.
actually see her eyes glaze over.
You can cast it. I asked
Very well.
my friends. I say them. Be smart. Make this
She
clean.
speaks a couple of words. She makes a somatic gesture.
Tax, draws, everything.
You copy it down. It's some kind of divine magic. You're not really. You need to study it. I'm sure you will. And you see her looking at something as though she's maybe reading something directly over your head.
I'm, as she's saying this, thinking like very immature thoughts. Thinking like really like being just angry about things, not being emotionally. Yeah, like being like trying to like regress in my like character arc.
Arts are cool.
Yeah, like just full on just like.
I think if I burp, I can burp the alphabet. I'm trying to think what else.
I'll get lots of things.
Yeah. So she sighs. Do you speak giant?
Oh yeah.
Do you not?
So does Bradyaga.
Both of you make a perception check.
And Delora.
And Chris.
15.
Rod?
24.
23.
Nice.
System, you are maybe too far away to hear. You recognize that she is praying in giant, speaking to her God. And she says, she is not ready yet. I warned you it was too soon. And you don't hear the response. And then she says, yes, my queen. It will be as you say. And she looks around and she says, come, children. And they all gather around her. And her sister hops down and moves over. She moves over there. And she says, a pity. You are not strong enough yet. I am Vernus. Arise and take your true form. And the rotting corpse of Vernus. She goes, yes. Yes.
I gotta see tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, I have to be at work at 7 a.m.
Oh.
And she dissolves, and in her place is a cold, light angel looking being, radiating cold and bright light.
I can do one of those things.
And Gryla looks at you and says, we'll see you soon. Tree Laporte and
Tree Laporte.
she and her entourage are gone.
Including the new angel fire fuck
No,
thing?
no,
Never
no,
finding
no.
that one.
No, unfortunately not.
But remember, you have 7 temporary hit points.
Yeah.
And I have a
But we're gonna do
bag
this
of-
next time.
We will definitely
Yeah,
do this
yeah.
next time.
Right. That's
Seven
what I'm
temporary
saying,
hit points.
remember.
Everybody's fully rested and has all their spells except for daily.
So everyone remember that. You know, I
also
wasn't
have-
really sure how I was going to go. I'm glad you didn't fight Kryla.
Oh yeah. I wanted to. I was
Conversation.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd die, but whatever.
yeah. You in one hit, you in two.
Yeah.
No,
Well, you
I'd be-
did.
I wasn't.
Only because she was chewing it up.
Here we are. This is definitely metagaming, but
And
understand
Fred's
that she
Yeah.
cast control weather
Yeah.
to end. Now, you know enough about magic to know that tree report is like one of those spells that you don't get a bunch of slots of. So either she has some way to tree report at will,
Yeah.
she has a magic item that lets her do it, or someone else cast it on the other end.
Yeah. You get them here.
Yep. And yes, it will from now on be known as tree report,
I like
as far as
tree
I'm
report.
concerned.
Oh, that sounds like a place in
Pass with
Louisiana.
plants is just dumb.
Oh, that's the plants.
Transport via plants or pass with plants.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen it done, it's
Oh,
been
I
a
thought
tree.
you were doing tree stride.
That's
Because
what
tree
Rimmel
stride is fucking amazing.
Yeah. Rimmel has trees, right? She can do that.
So
Trees here.
That's why you were saying it's not just trees.
I do want you to understand that every level there are trees.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah. I
if
really
tree,
like them.
if tree report became necessary, so here's a question. If I were to leave this here for a couple of weeks, would that be okay, or should I take it home? I'm gonna have to fix Gryla, although. Okay, I just want to take a moment. We can go for a
Oh
second.
my
minute.
goodness.
Beautiful.
Yes, she's
I took-
beautiful.
Look at her!
I'm trying to think where I put
I
something
took
that's
many
2x2s.
It is, we have company coming the week of the 19th, is
Yeah.
my problem.
Yeah.
We have no flat.
And we're having every bedroom of the house.
Now, you could leave it here for a day or so, and I can bring it to you.
No,
I can bring
take
it
it
to
home.
you
I was just
tomorrow.
gonna say.
No.
All right.
All right, you go, love.
So,
Yep.
Let me know how things go.
Yes. I am more than likely going to be sending that offer letter back, and I'll see, I guess, Ben in May.
What are you out? You going somewhere else?
Go
back to our-
back to you.
Really?
Back to system,
That's
yeah.
why I had to leave.
So
we only have so many people there.
Yes. I have,
Yes.
there is a possibility of a different
So-
job,
Uh-huh.
but it is a possibility and not a certainty.
And you have a.
Guys, I do apologize if this was kind of rough and maybe a wee bit railroady, but,
That was great. Anytime.
are your questions answered now?
Yeah,
Do
some
you-
of them,
Do you have more?
probably.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The other leftovers are your guys'.
So, Bradyaga,
Yeah.
I'll walk it out.
Bradyaga,
Uh-huh.
your sister seems to have maybe,
It's amazing when you.
gone rogue a little bit.
I'm like, on the dark side.
Fair enough. Well, thank you.
That's fine.
Remember,
You,
everyone's the hero of their own story.
Next week.
right. No, you played that 100% perfectly to not make Bradyaga attack anything. Because, yeah, if that's what my sister is choosing, then, you know, I understand making choices that a whole bunch of other people would think are fucked up. So I'm going to let her make hers.
Like, literally all three.
I was hoping you would see it that way,
Because
even though there's probably going to be unintended consequences later.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
But hey,
Yeah.
maybe your sister can challenge you now.
And they came
I mean, you always were her older brother, and you were always on top. And you were always the strongest and the fastest and the smartest.
Well,
No.
she's the smartest. I'm sure she's the smartest.
Well, I mean,
all three of the systems I'm in charge of.
that's fair. But it seems like she had an opportunity to change her situation, and she took it.
Yeah, and that's cool. Although I guess now mom and dad don't have anyone to take over the shop when they die. But
I mean, she's not evil, and even if she was, evil people need contracts. It's just maybe you'll do a little more infernal business now. I know Dawn has to wander off to bed.
Yeah.
Does anyone else? I'll stop the recording. Does anyone else have questions or wish to talk about what happens?
No, I'm gonna head out.
No,
It was a pleasure,
yeah.
guys.
I think we should take any further discussion offline
Same here. I agree with
and
that as
let
well.
the Koenigs get to bed and let everyone get to bed. But it was fun. I did enjoy it. And we'll see y'all next time.
Later,
Hey, we
everybody.
get to hopefully like in-person combat next time.
Hopefully.
Night, everybody.
Good night, y'all.
It's very hard
Oh,
to
one thing.
fire teachers in Texas. And what we see is a lot of teachers go around. And in Central Texas,